Hey, folks. So, are you driving and just kind of bored? I know
bored.
that happens to me a lot.
Driving.
I've got a long commute to work, and when I've got a long commute to work, I want to listen to something that can take me all the way there, but also out of my car. And every horror movie on Netflix does that for me.
Does it?
Yeah,
I mean, I've
absolutely.
heard about that show.
I can listen to
Yeah.
that show. Episodes, they watch horror movies on Netflix, alphabetically, every week. You'll get every episode for free.
Every episode for free.
At every horror movie on Netflix.com.
Every horror movie on Netflix.com.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for another episode of the What a Disaster podcast, where we watch and review a disaster movie as close to weekly as we can possibly stand. I'm Gregory Allen, and as usual, I'm joined by Richard Sawasinski.
Hi, Greg.
Now, he's never missed an episode, but Liz has again missed an episode. So we did get a replacement. He's a return guest and co-host of every horror movie on Netflix. We've got Patrick Dunn with us.
Good to be here. Good to be the replacement Liz.
Hopefully we can all talk into our microphones today, and you'll hear us, and it won't be a disaster.
This time
unlike the last time that I messed it up and made it so the audio was damn near useless.
Yeah. This time we're Patrick's guest, not Greg's guest.
Yeah, we're over at Patrick's house.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, guys.
Sound a little different.
We went down into the hole.
Yeah.
And
He let us in the hole.
he
He made some
welcomed us
space.
down. We had to run an extension cord. There's no electricity down here.
It looks great down here. They're like, where'd you get the sink?
Oh, I mean,
it's he's got
interior
dishes,
decorating.
furniture.
Better holes than garden.
Yeah.
I've been reading that intensely.
It's like the IKEA catalog in here. He's been
Now,
furnishing his hole.
before we get too far along here, we're doing this on the Avengers Infinity War. Dick was supposed to put a note in here to mention that we were going to spoil the shit out of this movie, but he didn't. So
I didn't want to spoil the spoilers.
he didn't want to spoil the spoilers, but there will be spoilers. So if you plan on watching Infinity War and you don't like people telling you how a movie ends or runs or any of that, you might want to turn back now.
Every detail. We're going to tell you every detail. We're going to talk about who lived.
Yeah,
Here's the question, though. Like, is anybody who cares about Infinity War spoilers, is there anybody who doesn't know what happens yet?
Well, one of my friends or Dick's friends or your friends might pick up the
Somebody
episode.
with kids
and
waiting for the Blu-ray,
Yeah,
okay.
Like
right.
Wayne.
All right.
Wayne,
All right.
my buddy Wayne Woodward's a good example.
Hmm.
Don't listen to this, Wayne Woodward. Hold on. The Blu-ray's almost out. You'll get it. And go back.
Is Wayne in the band?
Hang in there, Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne's in the band.
Wayne's the light guy for Sisters Every Sunshine Vapor.
He does all the wacky lights.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He actually worked last
Nice.
night. He did a good job. It was
Nice.
fun.
He always does a good job.
Yeah.
Because he cares about what he's doing, unlike the band.
Oh yeah, dude. Last
Yeah.
time I cared, it was.
You guys are
It's been
terrible.
a while. I'm in it for the money at this point.
I mean, you did just get that sweet check from your band being in Shameless.
Yeah. Speaking of which, a plug for Sisters. If you guys like the show Shameless, this season's on Netflix streaming now, and we're in the second episode, I believe. During the sex scene, it's pretty great.
So once again,
That's why we
this
make
week we're doing it on the Avengers Infinity War, which is basically it's Thanos' heroic journey
Oh yeah.
to collect tools he needs to right the imbalances and inequity of the universe, and he is just constantly slowed down by a bunch of has-beens and jerks that basically have way more power than they deserve to have.
Power hungry, quote unquote heroes
Mm-hmm.
who can't even get along.
Selfish,
For-
egotistical. Yeah. They're a mess, and
There's
it's a shame
very-
that Thanos gets even bothered by them at all. But there wouldn't be a movie without him.
There's very little Thanos will not sacrifice to preserve the universe. Very little. Did
Yeah.
Tony Stark say the same thing?
Basically nothing.
Yeah.
Thanos, his heart's in the right place.
He definitely sympathetic character in my opinion.
An anti-hero.
Yeah. I'm Team Thanos all the way.
Wow, Infinity War's budget was only $321 million.
The only 300.
I would have been surprised. I'm honestly, I'm surprised. I would not have been surprised if it were over $400 million.
It's the largest
Is it?
superhero budget.
Oh,
movie.
superhero budget.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive movie?
I thought this was the most expensive.
Is it? I mean, I'm fine with that too. That's still like it seems like it would have cost a lot more than that.
Because if
given
it
the
is,
scope of
Cameron's
this
just like
movie.
basically going to go hold my beer at this point.
Right.
Let's pack some more stars into Avatar 2.
Right.
So we can, knock
Get that number
the
up.
total up a little bit.
I
Those are
need
rookie
a literal
numbers.
spaceship because
Yeah.
we need to I need some moon shots. So I
Yeah.
need a literal lunar lander.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's make that.
Let's do a few more submarine journeys
Right.
before Avatar 2. Let's just put that on the tab.
I mean, anybody that's listening to this episode knows that Infinity Wars made so much damn money. Made like $257 million opening weekend alone.
Yeah.
And so far has made $2 billion globally.
I couldn't believe the $2 billion.
That's so
oof.
much money. That's absurd.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
$2
insane.
billion. It's only been out for what? Like, hasn't
It
hit
came out in
Blu-ray yet.
April, the end of April.
Yeah.
Dudes, get this.
Let's get this.
All right, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides is the most expensive movie of all time.
What the fuck?
I bet they regret that.
Even crazier, Age of Ultron was way more expensive than Infinity War.
Was it
Really?
just-
Yeah, it was
Why?
$365 million for Age of Ultron
Wow.
and $316 for Infinity War.
What was the cost of Age of Ultron? What,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the Hulk,
That's
the
why
Hulk-
they took Hulk out of Infinity War. He's too
Yeah,
expensive.
so
I mean, he's
it's cheaper.
expensive.
They were
The Hulk-
trying to cut costs.
The
Right.
Hulk always looks fantastic, and
He
that's the
does.
problem. The Hulk always
Yeah.
looks great.
yeah.
you know?
He's a big deal.
And I'll be honest, some of the CG in this movie is a little janky.
There's especially at the end where you've got Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster armor in the
Yeah.
background. It
Oh, just
looks
his head?
terrible.
There's a couple really quick unloading scenes where they're unloading troops, where they just use CG troops, and it was like really quick shots, just filler shots,
fast
but they're
cuts,
bad.
filler, but yeah,
They're bad. They're
that's-
like
Those
prequel bad.
groups are pretty lame.
Yeah.
Are they Malbolgia in Spawn bad?
I
I don't think Dick has seen that. I don't think he remembers how
I don't-
atrocious that was.
I
Oh,
don't,
man.
but the worst CG I could ever remember is Blade Trinity.
He
I'm gonna
looked
pull
like
up-
he was created in Microsoft.
Oh
Paint.
man, he's really bad. He looks like a cutscene from the original Diablo.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah,
my
did you
God.
want some? Do you want some nuts, Greg?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
let me have a
Oh,
let
need
me
some
Oh yeah.
nuts on my-
Hey Greg, you
Get
should just take a bigger handful. That was a small handful. If
Greg,
you're
would
gonna.
you like some nuts?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just need 2 nuts.
I just
We're
gonna,
just gonna
rub
have-
two nuts to rub together.
Get some nuts in our mouth here.
Oh.
Yeah. This is-
Good.
yeah.
Mm.
So you got anything else going on? I know you got
No.
what? Concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming there's a website, right?
ConcentrateMedia.com.
Yeah. What is that primarily Southeast Michigan? Is that just Ann
Washtenaw
Arbor,
County,
Washtenaw
in
County? Okay.
particular. Yeah.
I've read stories and stuff, and I know Chris has done some work for
Mm-hmm.
Concentrate.
Done some video work.
Hmm.
Yeah, so kind of covering what's next for Washtenaw County. So covering the folks who are moving the community forward in a positive and progressive kind of way.
Not a lot of bad news on Concentrate. for
No,
the
we
most
try and
part.
focus on the positive stuff. Yeah,
There's everybody else will focus on the negatives. You guys are doing the right thing.
that does tend to happen.
So you got content. Do you have any other projects? Any other stuff you want to?
No, I'm just I'm a freelance writer, so I'm working for somebody different every day, basically. But yeah, mostly I just want people to listen to every horror movie on Netflix. Every horror movie on Netflix.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
Every
There's your-
horror movie on
there's your
Netflix.
plug.
Mm-hmm.
Every horror movie on Netflix.com.
Yes.
And it's
Amon.
what? Amoncast on Twitter? At
Yeah.
Amon, EHMON cast.
Yeah. We're on Facebook.
But yeah, when we get back, we'll start right in on Thor Ragnarok. No, wait.
No, we're gonna start right
When
in
we
where
get
left
back,
off.
we'll start right where we left off in Thor Ragnarok, which is a weird thing to put into a break for a different movie. So we're not going to use that.
But it is what we're doing.
I mean,
This is right where we left
I
off
don't.
in Thor Ragnarok.
I don't like it.
This is right where we left off in Thor Ragnarok.
I don't
It's
like
the
it.
truth, though. You're just gonna lie to our audience.
I mean, the start
Yeah.
of
You're not gonna give them
Infinity
facts?
War.
You're gonna hide
The
the
start of
facts?
Infinity War is
Is-
basically where the post end credits scene was
In Thor
in Thor
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
you
don't
don't
think
ex-
Thor Ragnarok even mattered?
I feel like that doesn't even
it mattered.
ultimately, and we'll get into this. Thor Ragnarok really kind of didn't matter, but that's a whole nother discussion.
So this is a break.
Is the Avengers really just Thor's character
series.
development?
I mean, it's a good question. He's got a
So far.
sick character arc going on.
He's the only one
Yeah.
growing as a person, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tony Stark's trying.
Yeah. He did.
He's
already
been
did. His growth
trying
is
and
done.
trying for quite a while.
He's not going to grow anymore. He's
No,
not an
he's
alcoholic.
he's trying now.
Megalomaniac.
He's got Peter Parker under his wing. He's basically being a dad. I mean, that's a big deal.
Peter's going to be sad when he has a real kid.
Peter can't have kids. He's a boy.
No, I mean, Pepper Potson. Listen, we're in a break now.
We're on break. We get these are mandated by our union,
Mhm.
so please stop listening while we go on break.
Looks like we're not getting paid.
Wipers! Wipers! Get it off! How the hell is this dude still alive?
He is not a dude. You're a dude. This is a man. A handsome, muscular man.
I'm muscular.
But who are you kidding, Quill? You're one sandwich away from fat.
We are back, and we're ready to dive into the Avengers Infinity War. This one does pretty much take over where Thor Ragnarok left off, if you watch the post-credits there, where Asgard, all the Asgardians were on that freighter ship or whatever kind of ship that was, and a large, ominous ship appears behind them, and it happens to be the Thanos.
Yeah.
Mr. Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos.
Mr. Thanos.
Mr. Thanos.
Thanos? Thans? Is he Mr. Nos?
I don't know. Yeah.
So this is better. Well, no, it's not better.
It's not bad.
It's not better for them
No.
at all. I
For
mean,
who,
they
the
have
Asgardians?
limited resources, right?
Yeah.
The Asgardians.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to help with that
Right.
by blowing up half their resources and half their people.
Right. But what happened to
I
the
mean,
other half?
basically, he slaughters all of them, actually. I mean, and there's some inconsistency here because Thanos' whole thing is killing off half the life in the universe.
Thor does later say killed half of
My
Asgardians. Yeah, half my people.
Really?
Yeah.
But there's like no one visibly living.
I think there
at
were
the
supposed to
end
be
of-
multiple ships.
Oh, so he took out a couple of ships.
Yeah, they don't show the battle at all.
Hmm.
It's just they're
Yeah. The aftermath.
the Asgardians are fucked.
I mean, it just shows like that even Thor got his ass handed to him like right away. Wasn't even a fucking battle.
Everybody's defeated,
Yeah.
and Thanos has arrived on the we'll just call it the main ship because I don't know if there are more or what, but it seems like there would have to be because they mentioned later that half of them died and they blow that ship up completely.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, everybody's fucked in that ship. I mean, and this was at this point. This is probably where we get our first death because you see people getting stabbed. I mean, I want to give it to
first death is about 1 minute and 48 seconds. I wish it was Heimdall.
Yeah, I wish it was
but
Heimdall,
it was not
but it's
Heimdall. It was just some no name.
Some guy
You don't
going.
even see their head. He gets
Why do you
stabbed
wish it was
by.
Heimdall? I love
Because
it's-
Heimdall.
Good
I love
send-off.
Heimdall too. It would have just been
It was a good send off
for
that
us,
character,
for
you
the
know?
sake of our podcast, for it being first death and actually somebody that's important, as opposed to just a throwaway, no-headed thing that gets stabbed by one of the Black Order
The Goblin
children of
twins or something.
Thanos. Yeah, it was one of the Goblin twins. I think. I don't think it was Squidward or No Nose or
No, because
the Noseless Wonder.
Yeah, Maw.
Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw.
Yeah.
Ebony Maw. He's all Maw.
The whole opening scene is like a great introduction for a great villain, though.
Oh yeah,
It sets a
yeah.
tone for this movie too.
Yeah,
It's just
I
like
mean-
we're not holding your hand anymore.
Yeah, there's
Immediately.
no fucking around about how much of a badass Thanos is. You know, I mean, if you have any doubt after the first few bits you see of him, just wait and see what he does to the Hulk.
It's kind of cool how these
Yeah.
movies have progressed from like the first one to now. With Joss Whedon, it was okay. We've gotten these guys together. How can we make them fight? Is kind of how the first Avengers movie played out. Then the second one was what can we do to make these guys the problem and also make them fight something.
Right.
And then this one is just they're all in. It's bad news for everybody involved.
Is there any other Marvel movie that starts off in such a dark note at all? They usually all start with like a lighthearted reintroduction to
Civil
the
War.
characters. Civil War was
Yeah, Civil War was when what's his name killed Tony Stark's parents.
Oh yeah, it was the first scene, and then
Yeah.
And then some woman stopping him in the hallway and being like, "Look, you killed my kid."
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
It was
yeah.
not. It was not an excellent.
yeah, I guess you're right. Civil War kind
They
of
weren't
was the start.
surfing.
Civil War is a pretty heavy movie.
They weren't surfing and barbecuing at the
Civil
beginning
War is
of
kind of
Civil
the start
War.
of the dark era
Yeah.
for the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Well, that was Phase 3, yeah. Yeah, it would have to be
Mm,
Phase 3, really.
Yeah,
2.5,
I
3.
think so. Yeah.
Did they have? They didn't have a Phase 2.5, so I would
Yeah.
call it Phase 3. Yeah, they. So we get on there and we've got the Thanos trying to figure out where the which stone is that? Space Stone. Space Stone is in the Tesseract.
Yeah.
And we get in, and like Loki's like, we're not going to tell you shit because here's our bro Hulk, who
Our bro.
busts onto the scene and starts trying to fight.
He said the same thing that got his ass handed to him before. He goes, "We have a Hulk,"
We
and that
have
was
a
the same
Hulk.
thing that was said to him when he got
Right
smashed.
before he got
Mhm.
wrecked. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got-
he gets really excited to turn the tables with the Hulk.
You know what? I forgot about this, and I want to go back and mention this. The cool Marvel music over the logo
Yeah.
isn't on this one. Instead, it's a distress signal from the Asgardians.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
kind of a bummer. I like
Yeah,
that
it's the
music.
voice of the original Thor director, actually.
Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I read. Yeah, I'm not
Oh.
100% positive.
Oh, that's kind of
I'll
cool.
fact check that, but yeah,
That's really
it's-
cool.
They let him do that, I guess, a little throwback since he's not really involved in these movies, right?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
We get introduced to the silhouette of Thanos, who looks like a badass. He gets jumped by Hulk, who they think is just going to spank his butt and send him crying back to mama, which does not happen.
No, Hulk-
Instead,
No.
Hulk gets his shit pushed in pretty hard and
Quickly.
quick. Yeah.
Real
There's,
hard.
like, no fucking around. Hulk's pinned him against the wall. Thanos just grabs him by the wrists and opens his hands.
Thanos is basically bigger than Hulk. He's more controlled than Hulk. He's got the martial arts skills.
Thanos has
He
been
knows
at
how
it a
to
while.
counter Hulk's attack.
He's got the
Yeah.
Power Stone, which is pretty
He doesn't
much
use the
He
Power
doesn't even
Stone.
use it. Yeah.
It doesn't light up or flash even once.
Really?
He's just
during
getting a
that
little
fight.
workout. He's
Yep.
just doing a little martial arts.
That was a sweet scene. Like the cartoons fighting is always the best.
Yeah.
Like the two cartoons fighting, they were able to do really cool stuff.
It was
with
really bad in Deadpool 2, but it was really good in this.
I mean, usually that's
Yeah.
the stuff I
Nice.
kind of hate is when two CG characters are just duking it out, but Thanos and Hulk both look so fucking great.
Yeah.
they did. They looked
They-
terrific.
they're
Very real.
expensive.
Guys, I hope Korg shows up in the next Avengers.
Oh my god.
He's
Yeah.
got to.
I hope he's the one who just helps unfuck this whole situation.
He meets up with Ant-Man in the quantum realm.
Yeah, yeah.
Since he's all rock, he can hold one of the stones for some reason. It's like
He's handing out
Yeah.
handing out
Yeah,
flyers
yeah.
to help fight Thanos.
Organizes the revolution. I like it. He's got experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's kind of implied that Korg is dead. And that bums me out. I don't want to live.
When
in
is that
world.
implied that Korg is dead?
Because he was on the same ship with
That's
with
true.
Thor.
He was on the same ship. Yeah. Fuck.
I feel like I read somewhere that they confirmed that Korg is still alive.
Oh, thank God.
Hopefully Meek made it too.
Meek has got to be alive.
No way. Isn't Meek dead at the end?
No,
of it?
he came
He almost
back.
Oh, he comes back.
I thought he was
Okay,
dead. but
Yeah.
yeah. No, he was back at the end of Ragnarok.
Korg is a little flippant with life. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, ultimately we find out that maybe Thanos is pretty tough or Hulk is a chump, because I feel like Dick could take Thanos.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this.
One-on-one, no problem.
I think Thanos handled the Hulk where you got to handle the Hulk too. You got to handle him quick. You can't let him get angrier and stronger and angrier and stronger.
Now, was the torture of Thor, was that pre-Hulk or post-Hulk? I think that was pre-Hulk. What Thanos said? What do you prefer, your brother dying or give me the Tesseract? And I'm assuming you have a
Oh, yeah.
choice.
Your brother's head.
And he says, "Yeah, kill away." And
Tesseract.
takes about 4 seconds before Loki's like, "I'm sorry, don't actually kill my bro."
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Loki pulls
yeah.
out all the stops. Loki does all his sneaky Loki shit.
Tries
Just
to,
trying.
yeah. His wishy-washy,
They
like
squeeze
yeah.
Loki, every ounce of Loki out of Loki within this first 10-minute prologue.
Yeah, I mean, Loki goes out on a pretty high note. A pretty Loki note.
Yeah.
He just Loki's at the fuck up.
all the way to the end.
He
But it's kind of
fucked.
a testament to how strong Thor is at this point. That the only way even that Thanos can hurt him is by pushing the power gem right against his fucking head. Like he wasn't even, he was.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. He's like just grinding that gem into his fucking temple. It's-
Yeah,
I mean, anybody else would have just incinerated it, and Thor's just like, it really hurts.
true.
My head hurts.
True.
I hadn't considered that, actually.
I was thinking about that because Thor's a fucking Thor's ridiculously strong in this
Yeah.
film. And
Thor
there's-
is at least as strong, if not stronger, than Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, and he could do things like talk in space and shit. It's pretty incredible.
Mm.
Yeah. So we get he gives him the Tesseract,
Oh yeah,
and Hulk comes, fights him, whatever. Then he crushes the Tesseract, gets the Infinity Stone out. That's the Space Stone.
yeah.
The
He
blue one is
has the
Space
Power Stone. Now he gets the Space Stone.
Yeah. So now he has power in space, and Ebony Maw's like, "Oh God, you're so cool.
You're the coolest guy I've ever got it.
No one's ever had the might, nay, the nobility, to
Speaking
wield
of,
2 Infinity Stones."
that's good. That's pretty much the line.
Yeah.
I've watched that
Speaking
movie
of-
3 times this weekend.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times in theaters.
I saw it twice in the theaters, and I've watched it since it released on digital 2 or 3 times during the week. I watched it twice yesterday, and I watched it this morning
You
taking
watched
notes.
it twice in the same day.
Yes, I have kids at home, man. They just
Mm.
They'll watch it.
yeah, they'll do whatever. It's a little dark for them, so it was
Yeah.
mostly while they were playing that I would watch it. I don't think that this one's good for a 4-year-old,
No, it's really
definitely
dark.
not.
especially
Yeah.
watching what happens next to fucking Loki, where he gets his shit choked to death.
That's a violent.
That's
death.
brutal.
Yeah.
It's really bad. His eyes turn red. I think they really want to show Loki's not coming fucking back.
Kid gloves are
Mhm.
off
Yeah.
for this movie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what was that the first 10 minutes of this movie?
Mm.
And we could talk about that for a long time, but because first 10 minutes of this movie fucking ruined me.
All right.
Yeah.
I saw this by myself in the movie theaters. I'm watching that. I'm like, fuck. This is what I'm in for.
Mhm.
Settle in.
Heimdall shoots Hulk down to earth with the last of the dark power and then gets murdered.
Just stabbed to the gut.
Yeah, Thanos is like, that was a mistake, and just spears him to shit death.
Heimdall
Which-
kebab.
One of my few complaints about this movie is that Heimdall mysteriously decides to send Hulk down and nobody else. Not Thor.
Yeah, it feels
Just
like a
Hulk.
bad decision.
Mostly just because it makes sense for the plot. That's what
Yeah.
they need to happen for the
And,
plot.
you know, maybe there's a certain risk of sending Thor down. Like, maybe Thor could actually stop what's going on right now. And we know Hulk ain't doing shit. So
Maybe,
rather
yeah.
than sending Thor down, he sends down Hulk because he's not helpful anymore.
Yeah.
This movie does a lot. Like, it's after this prologue. I mean, that's a serious prologue.
Yeah.
I guess not after. I guess it's part of the prologue where he shoots Bruce Banner down to earth.
Yeah.
We take a cut to the New York Sanctum
Sanctum
where-
Sanctorum.
Sanctum Sanctorum with Doctor Strange and
Strange's
Wong
pad.
arguing about money and getting food from the deli.
Right.
First of all, 200 rupees is closer to like $3. So
Fact
Wong was
check.
halfway to a sandwich.
Hmm.
Just saying.
Oh wow, good fact check.
Yeah. He just shoots through their fucking window, through their stairs, and there's a Hulk down in the ground. He's changing back to Bruce Banner as they approach him. And Bruce Banner's just like, he's coming. Thanos is coming. And somehow the person that is responsible for the safety of Earth and our reality as we know it doesn't know who Thanos is.
Yeah, but Thanos doesn't have anything to do with magic. Doctor Strange is just responsible for looking after magical
As soon
shit.
as he got that first soul stone from
Xandar,
he wipes out Xandar, gets the
which
power
is
stone.
never seen at all.
No, they don't even show it. They just mention that it happened.
There's
Yeah,
so
the
much
thing happened.
carnage happening in this movie that
But the second that happened, he should have fucking known that something was going
Yeah.
down with the soul stones. They know all about the goddamn stones, or Infinity Stones.
they do.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, they own one of them. Strange literally has one on his necklace.
And I will say this about when they, especially when it's just those individual characters or groups, when they switch scenes to them, they very much make it feel like basically a scene from another one of their movies. So this one feels like a scene from
Doctor Strange.
Doctor
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
It's just the quippy, shitty dialogue with Wong, and
It's a really weird moment for the opening title to come into play, though, and this is a problem that I have with many of the Marvel movies, especially the Avengers movies. Like, the moment that they blast Avengers onto the screen is always very strange. In Age of Ultron, like, Tony picks up Loki's scepter, and then it goes to Avengers, Age of Ultron. And this one, it's like, Thanos is coming. Doctor Strange goes, who? Avengers, Infinity War.
I feel like it was the end of the prologue. It fit for me.
Yeah.
It was.
I wasn't a big fan.
No,
I
it's-
wasn't a big fan. I
get
love, because I
Yeah,
love
fuck you,
titles.
Marvel.
I love
Ruined the
opening
movie.
titles, and I like a good dramatic opening title, a well placed.
That's your thing.
Title.
Like,
you just want like
pick on things. That's your thing. You pick on.
That's
the
my thing.
Insidious-
thing. Yeah.
the Insidious title card where it just
Yes.
hit music hit that's a million decibels and
Love it.
deafening and in your face
Yeah.
at just the right moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it fit. Obviously, we
Yeah.
have a difference of opinion on that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't. I won't fight you on it because I get it. That's just kind of like plop. Here's the name. See ya.
Mhm, mhm.
But they don't need to tell us what it is. We know what's going on. I don't even need to see it. I know what
There-
I'm there for.
They were like in the prologue, we just killed two major characters. Welcome to the movie.
Mhm.
Right.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the movie.
Potentially 3 because we don't know if Thor has survived at this point.
Yeah, we don't nothing. Yeah.
If you're,
If you're a dummy,
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, when that
Ding,
happened
ding
in the movie
dong.
theaters, I was like, great. Thor Ragnarok no longer counts because everything that they did
Asgard
just kind
is fucked.
and they just everything they did just gets negated because all the Asgardians are gone. But
Yeah.
maybe half of them are alive. We don't know.
So what if Loki is a Skrull and it's not Loki at all?
Oh God, I hope not.
Oh man.
I mean, I want to see some scrolls in the MCU.
We've got Captain Marvel coming.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
the
They're
Next
gonna be
movie.
Captain Marvel.
We could get some Skrulls.
But Loki needs to stay the fuck dead.
Nope, not going to happen. Loki's
Oh,
coming
are
back
you
for
serious?
sure.
You think so?
I guarantee
I don't
Loki's
think
coming
so.
back next movie.
He's
those
been around
eyes.
for so
Those eyes
long.
said to me dead.
Yeah. And I mean, especially when they like swing their dick around so much as to actually have Thanos say, "No resurrections this time," like that.
The directors are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
The directors are around saying
No,
you
that's what
better
I
get
meant.
used to people being dead.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring back a lot of people.
Then we get to so they cut to a quick Iron Man sequence where he's talking to
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts,
The worst girlfriend in existence.
she's married or engaged now. They're fiancés.
Yeah, she's horrible.
I hate her.
I love Pepper Potts.
In this movie, they ruined her character in this movie alone. They just like, nope, fuck this character.
Really?
We're gonna
Why
shit
do
all
you,
over
why
it.
do you see? Why do you feel that way?
Because throughout this whole movie, her only response to Tony Stark is stop doing things to save the world. And it's like, well, maybe that's your.
It's not just his responsibility, Richard.
But if it
It's
wasn't,
not
if
his
he wasn't-
responsibility at all.
If he
for
wasn't
that
doing
matter.
it, the world would have been wrecked already at this point. It would have been wrecked.
She's
And-
sick of him risking his life. He has a family now.
Well, she
He
fucking
wants
signed on for that.
kids, and he's still running around like an idiot, flying across the universe, going God knows where.
Still saving the world. And when he goes to save the world again, what does she do? She just
That's
go
not-
like,
that's
she just
not
goes
the
like,
job.
get back here, get back here. He was trying to save half of the universe.
And she wants to raise a kid with a dad.
And he almost did it too. And we'll get
Well,
there.
she should
He almost
probably
did it.
find someone else to raise the kid with. Then.
Yeah. Don't call him up and don't fucking put that shit in his head when he's putting his life in danger. Like, we could talk about that when he gets home.
There's some pretty hardcore like story setup shit going on in this scene between Tony and Pepper, though.
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
her 2 minutes
yeah.
on this movie.
I mean, she's definitely pregnant. There's definitely a kid coming into play, and Tony's gonna have some real dramatic shit going on, but not in this movie.
No,
No.
not in this, not with Pepper.
No.
I hate Gwyneth Paltrow so much that I like this movie way more every moment that she wasn't in it. So I was really excited not to have her.
Do you like Gwyneth Paltrow more or less than I like Winona Ryder?
You know, probably more because it's less her acting and more who she is as a person. For you, it's
Yeah.
like a full package.
Yeah, she's insane.
Doctor Strange shows up.
Just pops in.
He's like, "Hey, bro, I know I don't know you, but we need your help."
And I love the rivalry, the little bro rivalry between Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. It's so much fun.
They both have a lot of ego.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up a part where they're like, well, who knows where Vision is? And this is where we kind of reveal that Tony Stark, who was super fucking, no, man, everybody needs to register, get on with these Sokovia Accords, is like, well, Steve Rogers could find Vision.
Why?
Because he knows basically everything that's been happening with Steve Rogers, where she's with Wanda and Wanda has been having this affair with Vision. He knows everything that's been going on.
Basically just admitting that he knows that they're all on the run and that Steve knows where they are and Tony hasn't done anything about it.
No, yeah, exactly. He's the rather than turning him in like he wanted to at the end of
Civil War.
where he got into a fucking fist fight with Steve Rogers and Bucky.
Yeah.
He's just live and let live mentality, and he knows what's going on, but he's not about to rat him out to get him shut down.
Right.
Now we pretty much immediately shift to an Avengers sort of feel after all this dialogue.
Yeah.
Where we've got people running and screaming outside, and they're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, once again, Thanos is in front of everything in this. Team Thanos is in front of the Avengers want to move at their pace. They want to talk about it. They want to plan. They don't have any time for that. Every time they talk about planning, he tries to call Steve Rogers. He doesn't even get the phone dialed before
shit goes down.
Team Thanos is already there, ready to fucking tear your ass up. They literally had 6 hours warning, maybe 4 hours warning,
Right.
before all this stuff went bad.
So we get the donut ship floating over New York City,
I call
coming
it the
down,
Halo,
the
but
Halo,
yeah,
whatever.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty cool ship.
they're all pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love the ship designs in
Yeah.
all the space stuff in the cinematic universe. Really. So yeah, like we get a little taste of Hulk not being Hulk in this one.
Right.
Bruce is like, I'm trying. I just need to concentrate.
He's got a
There's very
personality
much this
disorder.
like,
He has like Hulk ED.
yeah, exactly.
Basically. He wants to get it up, but he can't.
And they make that joke right away.
Yeah,
Like,
and they
Tony-
pretty much run with that throughout the movie.
Yeah.
You
Hulk
can't get
erectile
green.
disorder.
Yeah, he's had a hard time getting green. It's something where we're at right now in this movie. It's like we get a little more Thanos as this movie goes, and I like this version of Thanos. He's not the Mad Titan Thanos. He's this whole new kind of version of Thanos. Has been written that I haven't read, but he's a very rational person. And in the comics, Thanos is in love with death, and that he wants to send as many people to death as possible. And in this, he wants to save the universe. It's a much more sympathetic murderer, I guess, mass murderer.
Yeah. I mean,
You can
of
at
course
least be
his-
like, okay, that kind of makes some sort of sense in a way.
Yeah, his description of the way he wants to save the universe is pretty fucked. And Josh Brolin just fucking destroys. He's so fucking
Oh,
good.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Did he do the motion capture?
Yeah.
He walked around with this crazy suit and did and all the facial expressions are his.
Oh,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
there's so much
Yeah.
in Thanos' face.
A surprising amount.
Crazy. Yeah.
We get an introduction to the new nanotech,
Mhm.
Yeah.
where we actually get to see it work, and it's super fucking powerful.
Iron Man can just basically build whatever the fuck he wants out of nanobots.
He's
now.
Green
I love it.
Lantern Iron Man, basically.
Basically, yeah.
I love it. It's so cool. Like the big guns he makes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great. And Spider-Man shows up because Stan Lee's driving a school bus. He's on like a field trip.
Hey,
And he's
Mr.
just-
Stark.
Yeah.
My
I don't know
God,
how
he's so
true
adorable.
this statement is, about how they got his hair to stand up on his arm for that scene. There's, I'm assuming it's a lie, but I want to believe it's true.
It's gotta be CG.
They were showing like they were shooting his arm and blew on his ear, and it gave him goosebumps. And I want that to be true, but there definitely had to have been either CG or a serious CG assist.
Oh, someone's blowing on my ear.
We get a couple little things that actually happen here. We get the nod to the sling rings cutting things.
Yeah.
To remind us that, when they open those portals, shit gets fucked up by it too, because it cuts the taxi in half when they shoo away Bruce Banner, who is having the Hulk rectile dysfunction.
Right.
That comes into play a little later on after they fight for a while, and the Noseless Wonder is basically trying to kidnap Doctor Strange.
Because he has a time gem.
Yeah, he has
Time
the
stone.
time. He's got the time stone on his necklace. They're there trying to steal a wizard's necklace. Aliens are on Earth trying to steal a wizard's necklace.
Yeah.
As I believe Tony Stark put it.
And he can't take it off because it's cursed.
Yeah, they can't just pull it off. It's got a spell on it to protect it. And
Simple but powerful spell, I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite unbreakable.
Right. Quite unbreakable.
Quite unbreakable.
I assure you. You don't get a hand
Yeah.
anymore.
Long, you're getting invited to my wedding.
Longer anybody. Yeah.
And
Another
then,
great line.
So Spider-Man goes to chase
Doctor Strange.
Doctor
You
Strange.
got to shake hand to him about it. The telekinesis Squidward character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I mean,
was barely a fight.
either way,
Yeah.
Squidward's got strong telekinesis.
Yeah. He could cut things with it. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So now Spider-Man gets sucked up into the ship when a tractor beam starts pulling up Doctor Strange.
Yeah. He's too heroic to let go.
No, he wouldn't let go. Why would he let go? He's
No.
Spider-Man.
He's Spider-Man.
He does whatever a spider can.
Which includes suffocating in the vacuum of space. Which is,
Something that would probably happen to a spider if it ended up on a
Yeah.
spaceship.
yeah, oh yeah.
So they're shooting out into space, and
Spider-Man gets an Iron Spider.
Iron Man shoots up there. He's like, here's the thing, and makes him super cool Spider-Man. Iron Spider. Right?
Yeah, because Spider-Man was
Is that what they call that? Iron Spider?
Yeah, it's Iron
costume?
Spider suit. And Spider-Man was going to die because space, but Iron Man saved his ass, as you knew he would.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the Iron Spider suit, which they tease in Spider-Man Homecoming.
And he makes the spider suit shoot out a parachute and send him back home. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. The same thing. They do that
That's
in
the plan?
they did that in Homecoming too. He did that stupid parachute. He goes out. It auto deploys. He's like, oh, where'd that come from?
Yeah, it deployed when he got to a certain height. So now they're on the donut, and he gets a call from Pepper Potts.
And she's just being a bitch.
Pepper Potts is like, "You are not on that spaceship," and he is on.
Oh,
that
she's
spaceship.
not really being a bitch. I
She's
would
worried
say.
about him. What
She's
do you
like,
mean
come
she's
back
being a
here right
bitch?
now.
Oh my god,
Come
I'm
back.
so sad
She's
that people
worried
care
about him.
about
Listen.
me. Richard, you need to grow
Listen,
up.
Pepper, sit down, relax, give yourself a nice cold
You
coffee.
need to have a
enema,
little bit more
and
empathy,
shoot,
Richard.
Shoot some coffee up your ass. Everything's gonna be okay. She needs to have a little more empathy for fucking Earth.
The world.
Yeah.
So we lose contact with Pepper Potts mid-call, and then
Thank
Friday's
God.
like,
Salt and
"You're
pepper
losing me
pot.
too,"
Gone.
and so no more connection to Friday, no more connection to Pepper Potts.
It's weird he doesn't have some sort of AI backup, but you know.
I mean, where would
don't
you keep
know.
it in a nanosuit?
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty.
I don't know. I don't know how the nanosuits work.
Why?
I'm not a nanoscientist.
Why would he lose connection to his mainframe?
No, why is it important? Because, I mean, they wrote that in for a reason. Like, why does he need to not have Friday?
Friday
what's
did a
going on
lot
there.
of calculations on the fly for him and the suit for targeting stuff and for some of the more high-speed reaction stuff.
So it just
Also, he has no idea what's going on
isolates
Earth.
him.
And,
So
he just got
yeah.
no more link to Earth. He can't figure out what's going on.
He's isolated.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
In the next movie, he's gonna be
because some
out in
crazy
space.
shit. is
That
going to-
isolation becomes really important by the end of the movie.
Something crazy is going to have happened to Pepper when he gets back to Earth. In the next
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
for sure.
And he's gonna have to rely
Either
on
something
Nebula to get him
crazy
home.
or nothing at all will have happened to Pepper Potts.
Dude, I wonder if there's a big time lapse between this movie and the next one, and maybe she's had their kid by the time he gets back to
Ooh.
Earth.
That's good. I didn't realize, kind of timeline wise, this was 4 years after Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The first two Guardians were in the same year, apparently, continuity wise. And then they jumped 4 years. So Peter and Gamora have a 4-year relationship behind them at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now we bounce to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Once again, the shift from being an Avengers movie to being a Guardians of the Galaxy movie is obvious and awesome, and I love the shifts back and forth.
This is my favorite title card of the whole movie because there's these dramatic title cards
Yeah.
that signal the shifts in location. So it's like Titan, Earth, Nidavellir, all this different shit. But when the Guardians first show up, the title card just says space.
And that
Yeah.
fits. Like
Yeah.
it totally fits
Yeah.
the tone of both Guardians of the Galaxy and Taika Waititi's
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok, and this is where they encounter they picked up the distress signal from the Asgardian ship, and they're heading to for a reward, of course, but being
Yeah.
good is its own reward, right, guys?
That's it. That's it.
And they get there and just see just total destruction
It's
everywhere.
wreckage.
They're like,
It's
well,
bad.
this is
It's real bad.
probably
Yeah.
pretty bad news.
This is space destruction.
And I like they have no ties to the people that are floating out in space dead.
No.
So they're still very much being the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're following the tone of those movies,
More
following
dead
how those
people.
characters would
They've
act.
seen dead
It's-
people before.
Right,
yeah.
they've seen a lot of dead people before.
The
So-
Guardians are kind of dumber in this movie. Like
They're as dumb in this as
played
they
up a
were
lot.
in. They're as dumb as this as they were in Guardian Galaxies Volume 2.
I don't know about that.
They were really dumb in Guardians 2.
They are pretty dumb in this.
It's really emphasized just
Yeah.
how like dopey and dysfunctional
They've
they
gone
are.
well. They've gone from dopey and they know each other to dopey and having lived in the same ship for a long time together.
Now they're competent because it's 4 years of working together.
right.
I mean, Star-Lord is definitely stupider than he's ever been in this
Oh, yeah.
movie. For
Oh, yeah.
sure.
He's very emotionally driven,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't think people because he was in the first one, he was in the second one.
hmm
Very much, he let his heart do the talking and the steering,
hmm
and he does the same in this.
I mean,
one.
it's Chris Pratt.
hmm
I read one thing that like Tom Holland said he loved working with Chris Pratt, but hate working with Chris Pratt because he just never turns off. I think at some point the actors embody the character, and I think we're just getting a lot of Chris Pratt in this.
whap. We get Thor slapping into the windshield of the ship.
Yeah.
Wipe it off.
Hit the wipers, the
Gross.
windshield wipers.
Dude, that's a pretty good Rocket impression.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that Thor and the Guardians encounter one another because, especially after Ragnarok, there is no better fit than these two.
Yeah.
These
Great
two
pair-up.
Thor needs new
entourages
friends.
or whatever.
Bad. Thor needs
Mhm.
new friends bad, and these are the right guys.
Yeah.
I think.
And he finds one in Rabbit.
The little rabbit. Yeah.
So many great, like really well developed characters, and just it's an absolute delight to see these characters who have never run into each other meet.
And that's
you
what
know,
this is, right? They set
Strange
this,
and Stark. And
this
the
whole
Guardians
movie is
of
about
Thor, and-
strategically putting characters together and which
Yeah.
ones would work best together.
We know
Mhm.
all of them. None of them know each other, and
Yeah.
to get like it's like introducing friends to other friends that you know would really get
right?
along.
Yeah.
They getting
and
them all
the
drunk at the same
ensuing
party
fun.
and
Right.
watching them have a good time.
We do in this sequence meet or we'll learn a little bit more about Thanos' intentions from Gamora. I mean, it makes sense that she would be the one to kind of explain what's going on with him, because
She kind of lays it all out, right?
right, yeah,
Like,
she's
kind of is a little spelled out for you at this point.
here's the narrative for you.
Mhm.
Thanos is a bad guy. He wants to kill half of everybody. That's kind of his thing, and he's really excited about these Infinity Stones because it's going to make it super easy for him.
Literally about as easy as snapping his fingers.
No, now we get a quick flashback of when we get a little more backstory on Thanos, where he's murdering half a planet and how he stole Gamora. That's about it.
Yeah, Drax finally finds somebody he finds attractive, and that's Thor.
yeah.
This is not a
This is not
guy.
a dude.
This is not a dude.
You
this
are
is
a
a man.
dude. God, Dave Bautista is just fucking great.
This is the man.
Just nails every fucking line. He's 49.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Shit.
So now we've got Tree, Rabbit, and Thor took a pod to head to go get
To Navdala or whatever.
Nidavellir.
Nidavellir.
Thor says it wrong. That's a bit of trivia. It says it wrong in the beginning of this movie, and it says it right the second half of the movie. So
Oh, really?
in this part, if you listen to Thor say it, it's the wrong pronunciation. Then later on, they fix it. But
Oh, shit.
who can say that fucking word? It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
it's stupid. I call it the Forge.
So yeah, they go
Yeah.
to the neutron
I
star.
call it the
and-
most boring part of the movie.
It is pretty boring, isn't it? Except for Peter Dinklage is awesome.
Both the second and third times I saw this in the theater, I walked out to go to the bathroom during some Nidavellir parts.
Yeah, none of it mattered until they were restarting the Forge. That was kind of neat.
There's
was a
some
good
fun
spectacle,
stuff in it. It's
but
not terrible.
I
It's
finally
just-
got to figure out where the fucking Vinnie Gauntlet came from, which is always a question of mine. Like,
Mm.
where did he get this big fucking cool glove made? You know,
Mhm.
And
Wherever
it-
he wants,
yeah.
he's Thanos. Who's going to tell him no?
Mhm.
But they
Well,
go
we're not there yet.
Yeah,
They go there, and we send our We send the morons to nowhere, spelled with a K-N-O-W.
Okay, yeah, I did. I figured it out later, but yes, they go to nowhere. That's where
to meet up with the Collector to try and get the Infinity Stone. Before,
The Reality Stone
Yeah,
this
the
time, right?
Reality Stone before Thanos can get there and get it. So we're with Wanda and Vision. Where are they? Like Germany or
Scotland.
something? Scotland.
yeah, they're hiding out in Scotland.
Why the fuck does Scarlet Witch not have an accent anymore?
Oh,
Oh.
dude, I don't.
Come on.
Because her accent was so shitty in the first
They're like,
place.
it doesn't need to be there, I get
never
it.
happened.
Yeah.
But like maybe have a scene where she's getting some training from Natasha or something on
Yeah.
getting rid of the accent.
Right.
There are
Or-
some hints of it in this movie, though.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's very strange.
So her accent's gone, which is hilarious. I
Yeah,
didn't
accent's
even
gone.
catch that. I did not catch that.
It was gone in the last one.
This is the
really.
most boring scene to me. This is the scene I want to skip all
The
the time.
relationship between Vision and Wanda is one of the most half-assed things in the MCU. Like we've only been given like a couple scenes worth of
We're supposed to
their
care.
connection in Civil War to even have any idea of what this relationship
Vision's
is.
barely a character. And Vision just showed up to save their ass in Ultron. And that was like the only time he ever did anything cool. And after that, he just has kind of been this useless. Avenger.
Actually, I guess he didn't even do a lot in
They
Civil
cripple him
War.
right away in this movie. They stab him and he never gets better from that. They stab him in the scene. One of the Goblin twins. They come down.
He gets wrecked in the gut, and that's basically the end of a powerful Vision.
He does
he-
some
he's
badass
useless.
shit in Age of Ultron. Though.
Yeah, he does. But I guess they had to cripple him because he was too strong or something.
I
They
mean,
really-
I love Vision in the MCU because they don't water him down from the comics at all. Like he still is green, red, and yellow, just crazy.
He
looking
looks
as fuck.
terrific.
Yeah,
and I'm
Paul
like,
Bettany gives a great performance.
yeah, and I'm really glad they brought him. They had him doing the voice acting. Probably had no
Yeah.
idea he was going to be Vision. I mean, they didn't think that far ahead. back
probably
then.
not.
And they committed to that, and he
Yeah.
does a good job.
Yeah.
He sells the role.
Totally.
But I thought Vision's underused in this movie. It bums me out, and I think
Yeah.
he's going to be used a lot in the next movie. But that's just my theory.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he comes back.
My understanding is that the original intention from the Russo brothers was to introduce Captain America way later in the movie, and so he was kind of like not necessarily shoehorned in, but they had to rewrite it to get him in a little earlier, and that's what happened with this sequence here. So
okay.
Captain America's here now to help take care of the Wonder Twins. They fight. The Vision gets fucking wrecked. They stab one of the
Goblin twins, the man Goblin.
Glaive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Glaive.
I think
Gets
so.
stabbed.
They cleaved Glaive
Yeah,
in the gut.
They cleave Glaive in the gut.
Glaive,
Yeah.
Glaive.
And then they're like, okay, we're out.
You should have killed us, and there's like, yeah, you guys probably should have. This is
Definitely should have just murdered them. But
you should be fighting to kill.
they made a tactical retreat. Yeah, I mean, we basically I don't know how they managed to do it without it feeling like a mess, but they basically made a bunch of small movies and tied into one overarching movie, and they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Also, there was a sign when they were fighting that said, "We will deep fry your kebab." And I was like,
It's
Wow.
very prominently
Yeah.
displayed in the background. of
That must be a
shot.
thing.
I
in
was
the
like, wow,
Scotland.
like that's awesome. I want a deep fried kebab. I'm never gonna have a kebab not deep fried from now on.
I
Well,
feel like there's
yeah.
some in joke there that we don't know.
Oh,
I think it's normal, actually.
Yeah.
I remember Googling it and being surprised that so many places will just fry stuff for
But that
you.
shot is so intentionally set up.
so. Anyways, we're back in
Now we're at nowhere, yeah.
Yeah, now we're nowhere.
Finally.
Finally.
We're finally at nowhere. And we get there, and it looks fairly abandoned, but Thanos is there stomping on
The collector.
the Collector.
Just wrecking Benicio's face.
Give me the damn
Or Benicio.
Soul Stone,
Come on, man.
Mr. Del Toro.
But Drax is. I just want to fucking stab this man. I don't even want to wait.
We don't need to get, like, detail.
No, we're gonna get
It's-
detail-
but-
no.
Okay, fine. Let's get detailed.
Because Drax
Drax gets angry and is like, I'm going to fuck him up for killing my family. Or
Well, I
for
mean-
making somebody kill my family.
But it's like Drax's whole character. Finally, though, we got to give Drax a little bit of time. Finally, he's face to face with Thanos.
Got his moment.
Finally.
Well, the important thing that we should
It is your
explain
fault.
about this scene,
It's your
though,
brain.
first is that Gamora tells Peter that if Thanos is about to get her, he
Yeah.
should kill her.
Yeah, and that's what. Yeah,
if Thanos gets his hands on her, fucking kill me.
And he's trying to be like goofy, haha jokes about it, and she's like serious as the grave. Like, no, you need to swear to me that if he's about to take me, you need to kill me
And he
because
swore.
it's going to be dangerous if Thanos gets his hands on me.
Yeah,
And he did swear to
Yeah.
do it.
he did. He did on his mother's
Yeah,
life, which is
Yeah.
a big deal for him. That's sacrilege for Peter, who's perpetually 12.
he swore on his mixtape.
Yeah, he swore on his mixtape on his Zune.
All right, so we Nobody follows Quill's directions because they're the Guardians of the Galaxy and nobody listens to anybody.
Right. Like rightfully so.
They still
Least
very
of all,
much
Quill.
Yeah.
they still very much know what they need to do, and they work well as a team, even if they're not listening before for the plan.
Right.
They head up, and Gamora just goes fucking crazy to murder him.
Yeah. Does an amazing job.
Yep,
I love
stabs
it.
him, cuts him,
Doesn't
stabs him in the heart.
hesitate.
So here's where we get kind of a taste of what the Reality Stone can do in the wrong hands,
Right.
where he turns
Oh, the right hand. Our hero.
right, our
Thanos.
hero Thanos.
Yeah.
He turns Mantis basically into ribbons, and Drax gets turned into a cut up statue.
Yeah.
Except conveniently, the Reality Stone doesn't like have long lasting effects.
It's not permanent.
Yeah. Like Thanos leaves and everybody goes back to normal.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intentional or if that was.
I think Thanos keeps people alive. I mean, he has the ability to murder a lot of people.
Yeah,
in his
there are a
wake.
lot of people he could kill, especially at the end of the movie. There are a couple people where
I was
he
gonna
had the
say-
opportunity to just absolutely murder.
I
some
kind
of
of
these
ironically
people, and he
kind
doesn't.
of sympathize with him as a villain a little bit.
Oh yeah, he could have killed everybody he's encountered.
Because he leaves it up to chance later on, but he could kill them in this scene, and he doesn't. You know,
I'd like to say that two things. Number one, if Peter Quill had not been,
You have two things to say.
I have two things to say. That's a Patrick Dunn signature
That's my
from
catchphrase.
every horror movie on Netflix.
two things to say.
One, if he weren't an emotionally stunned piece of shit, he would have shot her. It would have been done. Thanos would never have gotten all the Infinity Stones. It would have been literally impossible for him to get the Soul Stone
Yes.
without something he loves.
Yeah, the world.
Two,
Oh, I
if he
mean-
had done that, all the Guardians would absolutely 100% be fucking dead.
Yeah, they would all have been wiped out. Thanos
Just
would have gone bananas. He's still got a couple
yeah.
stones.
Yeah, he
He's
would
not
have
afraid
used
to
the
use
Power
them.
Stone and completely destroyed nowhere.
Yeah, and his calling would have been more in a manual process, but he still would have tried to call the universe. It just would have been a little easier.
Peter
to work
fucks up bigly in this whole movie.
A bunch. He's a problem.
Peter is
Yeah.
kind of the real villain of
Yeah.
Avengers
His
Infinity
incompetence.
War.
His
Yeah.
incompetence and his immaturity
Yeah.
doom a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, he was 12 and got kidnapped by space pirates and threatened to be eaten on a
such a
regular
sad-
basis. So now we get he leaves with Gamora because he turned the gun into bubbles.
I love
So-
it. Yeah, he did something actually
that.
like that was actually like. Do you actually think it was going to work? You take that much time to pull the trigger,
Right.
You were better off just going. You know what? I'll come rescue you because
Yeah.
at this point, there's no way this guy who just warped reality is going to let me shoot you in the face.
hmm
They had to have a
Yeah, no,
fucking
he,
talk
he
first.
eventually did it, but it
Yeah.
was not. It was too little, too late.
Yeah.
And then Thanos escapes with Gamora, and we know that's trouble.
Right.
We get a quick establishment of the stakes. Really, we end up in what it's
Whatever it is, I call it Avengers Tower, but it's something else now, right?
It's the new like Avengers base in New
Headquarters,
York
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
The new
Yeah,
base. They showed it. Yeah, it was in Ant-Man a lot. That was like the only time I really got a good
Oh,
look at
yeah,
it.
the place upstate New York that they
Yeah.
moved to in
At the
Spider-Man:
end of
Homecoming.
Ultron.
Basically, for the next little bit, we get a couple of shots that are essentially just showing us the stakes, getting people back together. The gang's back together, guys.
Yeah.
Whee!
Wait, who's back?
We get
Who are
the
you
general
talking about right now?
complaining to
Oh,
Falcon,
General Ross,
or not
yes.
Falcon,
Right.
War Machine.
Actually, this
William Hurt.
scene, this chapter is called Avengers Assemble. So, or Avengers Reassemble, something like that. So
Who
it's-
cares? Captain America's back. The gang's back together. They're like, okay, let's go to Wakanda, guys.
I think that's actually Greg's catchphrase. Who cares?
Who cares? Rhodes, Roddy Rhodes is like
Roddy Rhodes. Rowdy
Roddy
Robert.
Rhodes, the War Machine himself. He's all like, well, that's a court martial, and everybody's like, fucking Thanos is coming. Could you guys drop your shit?
We get two kind of important things here, and that's about it. We get Vision. They're gonna try and separate the stone from Vision,
Right.
and two,
Oh, and
the
Cap
stone
knows a
can be
place where we
destroyed.
do that. Yeah.
Oh, I love like because they go to Wakanda at this point. I love that they do that classic scene of like the heroic guy who's going through like
he's
some
got
sort
the
of
turmoil.
rehabilitation.
Yeah.
He's got a nice long beard. He's chopping wood,
hmm
and then somebody comes up and goes, "We need your help. We can't do it without you." And they convince him to come back into the fray, but they're always chopping wood like a fucking Amish person.
Arnold Schwarzenegger threw a log on his shoulder in Commando before
Oh.
Alyssa Milano was kidnapped.
You know, Captain Kirk in the movie Star Trek Generations was chopping wood too before the God called him back in to sacrifice his life to save the world. Maybe.
Fuck Bucky though. Bucky's the like most boring character in these movies to me.
You know what? Bucky is a boring character, but I love his fight scenes. It's a bummer that he's a
Yeah.
boring character. I like his metal arm fight
I like
scenes.
Bucky.
I think it might be Sebastian Stan's fault more than anything.
I like
don't think he's
Sebastian
that
Stan.
great.
I don't
Do
think
you?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good script. I don't think they write Bucky. I think that's the problem. They just don't write him.
That's true.
He
They
said,
made a
"How
bigger
you
deal
doing?"
out
and
of
I
Bucky than
blushed.
they
I'm
should
just
have.
saying.
It took a whole scene to show him getting his arm back and stuff. It's like, why?
But because
Like-
Bucky was a complete fucking badass in Winter Soldier. Why don't you fuck off?
I love that movie. Winter Soldier is one of my
Winter
favorites.
Soldier's a great movie.
Winter Soldier was fantastic. They tried to play up to so many of its strengths in Civil War, but then also do a million other things, and it fucking failed.
Movie.
Yeah, back to the
Choppy boy.
movie. Now we're in space, and Doctor Strange is getting pokey thing like chopsticks, right? Floaty chopsticks.
Pointy face stabbers is what
He
I call
is-
them. Yeah.
exactly. The song Chopsticks is playing while sharp things are poking into.
We're gonna get one of Greg's favorite things. We're gonna make a sound effect for this because somebody's getting spaced in this movie in the next 4 minutes. Greg loves it when you handle the bad guy with the deep dark vacuum of space.
Yeah,
it's his
it's-
favorite way.
The laziest way to kill somebody, but you know what? It's always effective.
Right,
So
and it's super
And
lazy
it's
in
so
this movie.
satisfying in this case because Ebony Maw has been such a fucking bastard.
Mr. Maw is a son of a bitch.
The
Though.
Maw.
He's
Oh, he
like
is.
super
Fuck him.
pokey, stabbing the dude with the thingies.
He's saying these are for surgery, but I'm using them for stabbing.
Mhm.
He's out to get people.
Yeah.
And so this is where you learn that Thanos is not good to the Black Order.
No,
He's like,
This
in all my
compassionate
years
Thanos.
serving Thanos, I have never failed him once. But if you've still got this fucking necklace on when we get to Titan, I'm screwed, is basically what it boils down to.
Mhm.
And he is scared shitless of what Thanos is going to do to him. So we get Captain fucking Spider-Man and
Captain fucking Spider.
Mr. Iron Man.
Dr. Spider-Man and Captain Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange doesn't do anything really. They blow a hole in the side of the ship and just shoot him out into space.
Yeah, right. This guy's been Ebony Maw has been fighting toe to toe with these guys, not always winning, but holding his own. And they handle it just by putting a hole in the wall. I mean, you're just taking them by surprise. And we
Fuck
get to see
you.
the Iron Spider-Man suit, one of the most ridiculed Spider-Man costumes of all time. Do one of
Is
the most
it?
ridiculed things of all time, which is throughout the claws.
They have
He
the
catches it.
little legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I love the Iron
Fucking
Spider
awesome.
suit. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. I
People
love it.
hated that in the
Oh,
comics.
It was
Did
horrible.
it?
so
I don't remember
much,
it being
yeah.
controversial.
Oh.
Super, yeah, because
Oh no, there was no controversy. Everybody hated
Everybody
it.
just hated it, yeah.
So I got two things.
So
And
Yeah,
now they've agreed to head down to Titan.
and now we got Thor, Groot, and Rocket. They're on a spaceship.
No, you're not even gonna. You're just gonna completely disregard the Thanos and Gamora, where he's like, "Hey, check it out. Nebula's being tortured to
Oh, yeah.
fucking death. So you
She's
better
taking-
tell me where the Soul Stone
She's
is."
pulling all these chunks, which is really fun.
And Gamora's
Yeah.
like, "No, I don't know where it is."
It's a great shot too when you first walk into that room and you see Nebula, and then the camera pans around the side and you realize she's like stretched out.
Yeah,
It's a real
It's-
expensive piece of CGI right
Yeah.
there. That's one of the more expensive pieces. You can tell
Yeah.
too. It's awesome.
hmm
We got the torture. He's like, "Hey, boop," shows her the
Beep, boop.
camcorder, and is like, "But this says you do know where it is."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, that Soul Stone.
Lying
Okay,
something
yeah, I
never
know where
taught
that
you.
Soul Stone
Yeah.
is."
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the other Soul Stone. It was just confusion. That's all.
no, she doesn't know where the Soul Stone is. She just has a general idea, but she wouldn't say she knows.
She just knows exactly where to go to get it. She doesn't necessarily know where it is.
Yeah.
Thanos is a dick.
Yeah,
Huge dick.
Huge. He probably has a huge dick too.
I can't imagine.
Oh yeah.
Dude's like
I mean,
8 feet tall.
there's
His dong's
definitely-
gotta be
He's
swinging
got the
like
reality
an arm.
stone now, so
It could be
as long as he
big
wants
as
it to be.
There's
I don't know that
definitely
that's
an-
a thing that they worry about in whatever race he is.
There's definitely an
Species.
internet subculture that wishes to have intercourse with Thanos.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure not a small one.
Rule 34
And I
has
don't blame
done-
them.
No,
Rule 34 has done terrible things to every memory you could have.
Thanos knows the thing the stone's on Vormer, right? That's it. That's what we found out. That's a big reveal.
This is the moment that I like the least about this movie. And not because the shit that happens in wherever the fuck that fucking thing is, the neutron star.
The Forge. We'll
Yeah,
call it the
not
Forge.
because that stuff is kind of like boring and not great, but because they take away everything that Taika Waititi did in Ragnarok. Like, he gets in the fucking eyeball back. They give him a weapon. He's got friends again.
Oh yeah,
Everything that happened in Ragnarok is just completely erased.
But I like his story. It's kind of like the same time he told the story in the Watiki film where he talked about Loki being a snake. He's telling this whole story of his life. He goes, and Rocky's like, Rocket's like, what about your friends? He starts explaining, got stabbed in the heart.
Yeah.
What about your dad? Dad? What about your mom? Frost giants killed her.
Killed by a dark elf.
Oh, he got killed by a dark elf.
That's a heavy scene, though.
Yeah,
He cries.
That
He
scene
cries, yeah.
that scene is good.
That's what I'm talking about when I talk about Thor's character
Yeah,
arc.
I just mean like
Oh, it gets so
the
deep,
stuff that
right?
happened that really affected the character as a whole, having needing the eye patch, no longer having the hammer, gets undone.
You're
He's
right.
no longer just alone as guardian anymore either. He's found a lot of friends. I don't know. It just doesn't
Well,
feel.
but I mean, Ragnarok ended in a moment of newfound community.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, he's
That's
got more
true.
people
He
around
does.
him
Yeah,
than
he
ever.
becomes his father.
Yeah.
At the end of Thor Ragnarok.
He
But
loses all his
that's
friends. All of them are gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all completely undone.
Thor talks about how he's 1,500 years old, which you didn't know that up until now, that he was that old.
Yeah.
And you see like that there's a crack in this guy who's been the confident bro in every movie.
But think
Yeah.
about it. How many people has he had that relationship with through his 1,500 years? How many times has he had to live through losing everyone he cared about in any given section of his life?
And he's like, no, loss will push you further. And it's like, I don't know, man.
Really clears your head.
Really clears your head. I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, he's had 1,500 years of practice, so
Yeah.
I'm sure that he's affected differently. They get to the neutron place.
Nineller.
Yeah, it's all shut down.
the Forge.
Yeah, the forge is all shut down.
Peter Dinklage is
Peter
there.
Dinklage is a
A
giant dwarf.
which is
Yeah.
great.
Which is
Eitri.
quite a bit of stuff.
Atri, whatever.
Right.
Atri, yeah.
And he gets there. We find out that Thanos has had the Infinity Gauntlet made by them,
Yeah.
and then he killed everybody but Atri.
Not half. Everybody.
Every dwarf there. I mean, they're presumably the dwarves live elsewhere too, not just on the forge. So he murdered them all.
He took Dinklage's hands,
He
but
covered them in just molten whatever.
whatever's left over,
Yeah, he said, "Your life is yours, but your hands are mine."
because I get to say those kind of
And
things.
gooped him up
Yeah.
because I'm the Mad Titan Thanos.
Oh, Nomura also escapes Titan at this point, or she escapes Thanos at this point. There's like a little sub scene where Nomura like tricks him.
Nebula.
Sorry, Nebula. You're right.
I don't know what Namora is.
Nomora's
Namora.
Is that
something-
female Namor?
It's Gamora.
There is a Namora.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's the
Yeah.
name of Namor. It's Namora, and the Gamora and Nebula put together is Namora. I did that a couple times. My nose had to fix it.
Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula.
She's
Nebula's
getting put back
Nebula.
together.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Thanos was not being completely ridiculous about her torture and decided to actually stop it once he knew where the Soul Stone was.
Yeah.
And, she
He keeps his word.
murders the
Thanos
dude that
doesn't lie,
was-
right? That's his character. He doesn't lie. If
Yeah.
he says he's going to give you something, he gives you that thing.
Yeah.
He's going to give you. He said he wouldn't stop. He would.
He's a man of his word.
He doesn't lie. So that's it. That she gets out of there, and that's when Team Stark crashes their Halo
Team
ship.
Stark. Now, hang on. So they're on this ship, this fucking donut, crazy flying donut designed to be driven by a giant.
Yeah.
2 armholes. He's like, all right, Spider-Man, you put an arm in a hole and I'll put my arm in a hole. Never mind that I have these fucking nanobots that I could
Can
use to
extend.
like
Yeah.
put into
Dude,
both
good
fucking
point.
holes.
Yeah.
Good point.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, why
The
just make
fuck
this-
didn't he just fly it his damn self? Now, Friday is disconnected from him, so he didn't have anybody to hack the thing, so he couldn't just like bloop the nebula or bloop the nanobots into it and make it land itself. So that's fine. But he should have been able to fucking steer the thing on his own.
was
But they
rain-
didn't figure that out. They're just like, let's throw this wheel down.
It was
trash it on the planet.
don't use the tractor beams that we used to get up here, and it was a rained out ball game because that ship got destroyed.
Oh yeah, that thing's
It's done.
trashed. That's gone.
They're gonna have to planet with that thing.
Titan's trashed too. It's
Yeah.
all 8 degrees off
Its
axis.
yeah,
and
there's
gravity's
fucked
all fucked up.
Wonky, yeah,
It lasts about 2 seconds before gravity was fine again.
right. But it was all fucked up. For
you know,
a minute.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch a quick video on the internet of the Avengers making love to the Guardians of the Galaxy. After we're done with that, we'll be back.
I'm gonna ask you this one time. Where is Gamora?
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Tell me where the girl is, or I swear to you, I'm gonna French fry this little freak.
Let's do it. You shoot my guy and I'll blast him. Let's go.
Do it, Quill. I can take it.
No, he can't take it.
She's right, you can't.
Oh yeah, you don't want to tell me where she is? That's fine. I'll kill all 3 of you and I'll beat it out of Thanos myself. Starting with you.
Wait, what? Thanos? All right, let me ask you this one time. What master do you serve?
What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus?
You're from Earth.
I'm not from Earth, I'm from Missouri.
Yeah, that's on Earth, dipshit. What are you hassling us for?
Our ship just crash landed on Titan, and we are going to talk a little bit more about Avengers Infinity War.
The Infinity.
The Avengers
Infinity podcast.
War.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the first time you've said it without saying "the" at the beginning of the title.
The Avengers.
The Avengers.
The Infinity.
The
War.
Infinity of the War.
The War of the
The
Infinities.
War of the Infinity.
So we got the Infinities. Is not probably a word. I'd have to check.
I think that's what we should call the Infinity Stones for the rest
The
of the
Infinities?
podcast. The Infinities.
Yeah. So Thanos has what, like 3 of the
3 or
Infinities
4
now?
of the Infinities.
So, and he's working on
got
going
some
to
Infinities.
Vormir to get the 4th Infinity.
Yeah.
So he's got strength, space, reality, is heading to get soul on Vormir.
I mean, there's not a lot of affinity left in his life.
Yeah.
No, he's
The-
got
The
he's
finite
found-
infinities.
He's found out finite infinity. Yeah.
Yeah.
for
He's,
sure.
he's running out of infinities to infinite. Now we are on Titan and the encounter between...
The Guardians and Iron Man and Spider-Man and Strange.
Richard's on his phone. He's very
I
busy.
know. I'm looking at my.
He's
notes.
in a meeting right now.
I'm looking at my notes. I'm trying to
He's
figure
in
out
a
where I am.
meeting.
Very important. He's got his Bluetooth in.
his
Talking on his
Bluetooth necklace.
Bluetooth necklace.
Okay, so now
That
that
gives
this is
him
where
the
Tony meets the Guardians.
Nano
right?
Army. Yeah.
This is where Tony meets the Guardians.
yes.
That's, I was
Another great moment.
Yeah, actually, this might be my favorite. Like 2 teams kind of meeting each
Hilarious because they
Great.
have no idea who each other is. They're trying to figure out where the alliances lie.
other. Yeah, classic attack first, ask questions
Shoot
later.
first, ask questions later.
Tony is finding out that the Guardians are morons and just being incredibly hilariously frustrated with that fact. Tony is like in just the worst situation possible with a group of basically morons.
They're
Like,
they're great in combat, but not necessarily.
And a
tactically.
16-year-old boy
Yeah.
too.
We have
More
2
great character
beers
dynamics.
today.
Beer!
We're talking about beer. We have a
Talk about
beer
beer,
review.
Dad.
Yeah, come on, Dad.
That's
You
what
guys
I-
aren't
that's
allowed to
what I
drink
always
until
used
you're
to say to my dad.
21 years old. You understand me?
Again? Until you're 21 again.
I see you've got a beer. Now you're gonna have to drink the whole case.
All right,
we,
Dad.
we have 2 brewskis that we're doing today. We got Anti-Hero, which is it's an IPA, right? An India Pale Ale
It's from India.
from India. Who's that by?
It is by the Revolution Brewing.
Revolution Brewing. They're not a Michigan beer, right?
They're brewed in Chicago, which is
Yeah.
close. Yeah.
I
That's
might
not-
have
that's-
one, I might have one more of these actually. Greg, you want to split one?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's split one of
Get a
those.
glass.
Anyway, we're talking about beer.
Yeah, beer.
I had
What
the
was this black dark
Anti-Hero.
one? Where's the other one?
First, let me finish on
Could you talk
Anti-
about anti-hero? You've had moments.
It's an India Pale Ale. It tastes like an IPA. It's not super hoppy.
No,
It's a little sweet. It's good. I could drink fucking a lot of these. That's a 100%. It's a drink it.
So we also have another one, Greg. What's the other?
Well, why don't you talk about this one?
Oh,
Because we
we've actually
take
talked about Anti-Hero
fucking
before.
turns.
We actually talked
Jesus.
about anti-hero before. It's a drink it. I've had it on the podcast before. Actually, we bought
We bought a
variety
mix
pack.
pack that had a bunch of hero beers,
for Ragnarok. Actually, I believe.
probably. Or
um,
yeah.
So, I like this. It's a drink it.
Patrick?
Yes.
How do you feel about this one?
It's good. It's a solid IPA. It's nothing special, I would say, but I think it's very thematically appropriate today, especially because it has this big fist
Mm-hmm.
in the can art that reminds me a lot of Thanos' big, manly.
You know, it's green, but I also
Purple
think
fists.
Thanos
Yeah.
instead of Hulk.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Actually, this fist is green. It looks much more like Hulk's, but at this point, we know Thanos is the power guy. You know, if you're thinking about a big fist, it's gonna fucking punch you in a really,
right in the
really
face.
hot way.
That's not the one I think about. So this one is another one. We got the next beer we got to try is Stone. I'm assuming Stone is the brewery.
Yeah.
Yes.
we've
Stone
had-
Brewery. Where are they from? Are they from Virginia?
Thought they were from Oregon, actually.
We've had Stone before. They're Tangerine.
Tangerine Dream.
No, it was. Remember, I got it, and it was.
Well, if I remembered, I wouldn't have asked you.
I got it for Ravager, and I can't remember what. it was.
Virginia and California. There we go. Escondido,
Oh.
California, and Richmond, Virginia.
Nice.
This is our second Stone Brewery beer. The other one was a Tangerine IPA.
This one is Totalitarian Imperial Russian Stout, which is quite nice, but it's way too much for me because it's 10.6%. I got to drive after we're done with the podcast, so I can't get crazy.
It's Quid Judson in the shop.
I really like this one. It's not as disgusting as the last Imperial Stout we had was. It's not cloyingly sweet. It's got a good flavor, not a lot of bad aftertaste. I enjoyed it.
Did you say the Quinjets in the
This is
shop?
a drink it.
Yeah.
This is definitely a drink it from the Greg.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of stouts. I don't like them, but I like to taste them as a small sample. But usually I don't like them. I got through mine. Once I started drinking it, it was gone. Yeah, I saw you guys the same thing. Like they first were kind of like, it looks like a heavy beer. We're gonna have and then once we started drinking it, it was just gone.
It's my kind of beer.
It's actually a really good beer. I drink it for me. And I'm not
Yeah.
gonna love stouts, but 10.2%. Get ready to
10.6.
get ready for that extra like 0.3. That was 4. That wasn't.
Point
I'm
four.
about to kill half my co-hosts.
Yeah. Thank God.
It didn't work. So,
Fuck.
what do you think, Patrick, about the totalitarian?
I enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of Imperial Stouts. I get pretty intense with my Imperial Stouts. I like really rich, really heavy, really intense flavor profiles on Imperial Stouts. And this one was, as far as Imperial Stouts go, a little mild, but I still enjoyed it. I drank a shitload of it. You guys were like, I just like a taster of an Imperial Stout. And I was like, okay, I'll drink drink the remaining 2/3 of the large
Oh no, I
bottle.
absolutely. If this were my house, I would have finished that.
Oh, okay.
It was actually better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
I'd have
normally
gone
would've,
fucking bonkers on that if we were recording at my house again.
Well, hey, thanks for bringing it over.
Anytime.
But it used to be.
Well, you're a couple of self-made men, just like
Donald Trump.
Thanos.
Oh, Thanos.
Oh, also Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Thanos.
yeah.
We're a couple of
The president of the
totalitarians, just
United
like
States.
Thanos and Dr. Trump.
Thanos is what Donald Trump sees himself as.
No, we got the guys meeting, right? The guys met
Yeah,
and they fought,
they fought.
and we found out how capable for a bunch of idiots the Guardians of the Galaxy are. Hang on, real quick. So that where's Gamora? Who's Gamora? That why is Gamora was ad-libbed
Yeah.
by Dave Bautista.
Fucking champ.
It was on the recommendation of Chris Pratt.
Yeah, it's a Chris Pratt joke for sure.
I will also say that every time I say Chris Pratt, I'm not saying Chris Pratt. I'm saying crisp rat,
Okay.
like a
Chris
deep fried
Pratt.
rodent.
Delicious rat. Okay,
It's deliberate and it's not going to make a difference to anybody but me internally. But now everybody knows.
Another great ad lib of Chris Pratt's is in that first Guardians movie when he holds out the fucking orb and then drops it.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yep.
That was totally just a mistake that he made, and then he recovered in a great way, and they kept it in the movie.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good fit.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah,
This is where Guardians and Team Tony get together for a bit, and they realize they're on the same sides. They're not the same size, same side. And
they're all the same size.
and then Doctor Strange sits down in Indian style and goes through like millions and millions of possibilities in the future.
I love that visual where he's just sitting there like having a fucking seizure, like his head's all over the place.
14,605 outcomes that he has gone through using the time stone.
And how many of those?
Presumably astral projection.
How many do we win?
One.
And you get a hint of this. This is all going to this is my theory. Is this is all going according to plan between Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. They knew a lot of this was going to happen because Doctor Strange went ahead in the future and saw enough of it to know that this is the only way they're going to win in Avengers. The next Avengers movie is to let things play out in this way.
Tony, if you don't do it this way, the next movie we're fucked.
We're fucking next movie. This is it. Yeah, that's what they're thinking.
And then so they're on Titan waiting for Thanos now to show up.
Yeah, and that's when we get to the next scene where Thanos arrives on Vormir.
He's on Vormir with Gamora.
Gamora.
And now I have in my notes, and this is verbatim here. Fucking what the fuck is fucking Red fucking Skull fucking doing here? The fuck is this shit?
Dude, fucking great. I love that reveal.
It has something to do with the first movie that when he gets sucked up by the Tesseract or something.
Yeah,
Captain America,
he
first
gets
Avenger.
Captain America, first Avenger. He gets pulled into the blue fire from the Tesseract.
I mean, that was a perfect example of just some comic book ass shit.
Right,
Yeah.
Like
right.
that is something
For
that
sure.
would happen in a comic book.
There's a few of these in this movie that just
Yeah.
this movie's the most comic booky of all of them.
Like all of a
Yeah.
sudden, Red Skull is just like floating around a fucking like hood because the Tesseract consumed him, and now he has.
Now who else is
guard
fucked because
the
they
stone.
stole an Infinity Stone and couldn't control it
It's an
and is now
infinity.
fucked up forever?
You know, the part about this that disappoints me is that it's not Hugo Weaving.
It doesn't
Oh,
make
it
any
isn't?
sense.
Hugo Weaving does not play the Red
Aw.
Skull.
I
in this
didn't
movie.
realize that.
Some other dude. Because
Doesn't
I
make any
think
sense,
Hugo
so-
Weaving had like a bad experience on
So-
the first Avenger.
Probably because he had to put on a bunch of prosthetics.
Probably.
But we find out, of course, there's a sacrifice, right?
Oh yeah, it's a Soul Stone. You can't just take it.
You just have it.
You gotta kill something you love. Sacrifice something you love.
Sacrifice something. you
And
love.
Gamora's just laughing.
She's begging him. She's like, Thanos, you should just push me off. I dare you.
The universe
I dare
said,
to kill me.
fucking no, you piece of shit. You don't love anything.
Nothing. You don't love anything. You're the worst.
But no.
No.
Apparently, even just thinking you love somebody, even though you're a murderous, abusive, fuckbag sociopath, is good enough for the Soul Stone, which is a pretty low fucking bar.
Yeah, I don't understand why the Soul Stone even has a bar at this point. But I
Because,
guess,
of course, he gets the fucking stone.
yeah, after killing Gamora. She's done. She's dead. She's not coming back.
Thanos is the fucking man. Go Thanos.
Go Thanos. You murdered your daughter.
Go
She made it
Thanos.
easy for him, though.
Go,
She wasn't like,
go
don't
Thanos.
kill me, daddy. She was like, you don't love anything. Ha, 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 ha.
Right.
You know?
I'm going to be a super crazy jerk right now.
I dare you to push me off this cliff.
Try
I
and
double dog
toss
dare
me.
you.
Yeah.
All right, is Gamora coming back next movie though?
Anybody who was physically
hope
murdered,
not.
anybody who was physically murdered is gone.
I hope
Period.
so.
We got everybody over to Wakanda so the Vision can figure
Yeah,
out how to
yeah.
get that soul
has the
blipper
stone.
taken off. Shuri makes fun of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner's handiwork and creation of Vision.
I found it to be very disrespectful. Like, here's we built a robot that can love, and she's like, you did it wrong. It's like, where's your robot that can love? What have you got? Fuck you.
Also, Rhodey punked the fuck out of Bruce Banner when he met T'Challa, and it's pretty
Bruce
funny.
Banner's like, should we bow? He's a king.
Yeah.
I mean, he never said yeah. He said he's a king.
Bruce Banner bows. T'Challa's like, we don't do that here.
He gets scanned. They're gonna try to rewrite his neurons or something. His neural pathways are not efficient enough or whatever.
Yeah, they're going to try and fix him so that he can live without the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, which is I believe they end up doing. Thanos is one step ahead. They're like, oh, we're gonna prepare and get Vision ready, and like, nope. Thanos is like, nope, we're invading right now, and he just drops some fucking ships and the Goblin twins. But then back at the Forge, Thor's throwing Rocket Raccoon's ship.
I
like-
love that part.
like
That's
it's-
like the
it's-
best part.
Like it's like a Mjolnir. He's just spinning around, and he starts back up the Forge by like holding onto the ship as it flies through space, and he digs his heels into the giant metal forge thing. So that's when it becomes obvious that Thor is ridiculously strong. He's talking and carrying on a conversation and surfing in space.
Thor goes through fucking hell in this movie.
He really does.
Yeah.
It's a shame they didn't spend more time on him, but at the same time, if it was going to be on the Forge, I would have been pissed.
I hope he gets his comeuppance big time in the next movie.
But then we're back on Wakanda again. This is where it starts to go fast, and the army's just evading, and everybody's fighting. Bruce Banner's in the Hulkbuster armor because he can't Hulk out.
Which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm glad they brought that to Wakanda.
Yeah, he was just sitting there waiting. I don't know how he got it without Tony. I don't know how he got in the armor without Tony's help. I don't know what.
We would assume that the Avengers
Dude.
are all equipped to
Good point.
hop into that armor.
Yeah,
I had not thought about that at all in 3 times seeing this movie. How does the fucking Hulkbuster armor show up?
yeah. Where does he get it from?
Clearly,
Why does-
they just brought it on a Quinjet for some reason.
It
You
is
know,
true.
just in case.
I guess I assume Bruce Banner has the experience being the Hulk, so the Hulkbuster armor, he'd be good in it, better than anybody else. But he
Yeah.
really has no efficiency in it. And they
Well,
show
he
that
has
right
no
away.
efficiency as being a Hulk because Hulk is Hulk, Banner
Yeah.
is Banner. They're
But-
two different people.
When he acts instinctually, he actually is pretty good in the armor. Whenever he's doing it purposefully, he sucks at it. That's what I've noticed in the fight scene. But this is also where we find out, Greg, that Thor has to hold the iris open.
Yeah, he holds
2 minutes.
open this thing that's going to focus the energy of a star so that it'll warm up the goop or the material enough to forge a new weapon for
Or
him.
metal or whatever. And this is kind of like where we figure out how fucking powerful Thor actually is, because he's able to do this.
Right, that's some Superman level shit right
Yeah.
there.
He doesn't
Taking
know
the
either. He's
focus
like-
beam of a star. He just was like, well, I can either die trying to save the world or I can die being completely unequipped to save the world.
Right.
But he didn't die.
He didn't die.
We got a
He
new
gets the hammer.
A new it's Stormbreaker. It's like an
Stormbreaker.
axe.
Stormbreaker.
And it's in 2
Stormbreaker.
pieces and they need a handle and
This part's great. I love it.
Groot
Dinklage
is
just-
useful for like the first time in the fucking movie. Groot
Right.
is pretty useless in this movie.
Groot.
I Groot.
Yeah,
He's
he's being a little
sarcastic. He's a little
asshole.
punk ass teenage shithead.
He's playing a shitty video game the whole time.
Yeah.
We
he
also
loved
find out that the Groot is actually a language because Thor mentions that he took it in
it.
Asgard.
It was an
as-
elective he
as a
took in
language.
Asgard.
And that,
An
so
elective.
the Groot language is a language that can be understood, but Groot can also understand multiple languages.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he can only speak one language. It's,
He's like Chewie.
yeah, he's like Chewie. He actually is. Kind of a copy, huh? In a lot of ways in this movie. Thanks, guys.
Anyway,
And,
you're saying?
and he gives his arm up as part of Thor's hammer.
Yeah, he's like, I'll grab this fucking shit, put it together. It hurts me like hell.
Yeah, he
And then-
sacrifices himself.
Yeah,
a little
sacrifices his arm to sacrifice. He could just grow another
bit. It hurt,
damn
no,
arm.
it hurt like a
Looked
lot.
like it hurt like hell.
Yeah. So where we at? We're at Wakanda going poorly, and they open the shield. Wakanda lets people in.
They just open a section so that they can control the flow.
So they're like,
rather
right-
than have it trickle in from every direction, they can open the door for a small section and deal with it more directly.
Yeah. So like there's a big fucking fight, and Thor shows up right away, almost right away into this fight, and he goes full Led Zeppelin again. And just fucking like
Oh, that's a great moment.
smashes everybody and kills like
With
just about-
Rabbit in
Yeah.
the tree.
Yeah, he has like the Bifrost power with
Yeah.
the with his new hammer. So he shows up with Rocket and Groot, and Groot actually does something else. He starts murdering people too. Groot kills like 6 guys.
Yeah, he
and
murders the shit out of people.
It's awesome. Actually,
Yeah.
he's back to murdering people. No longer Baby Groot. He can fucking hold his own. in
The
fight.
only bad thing about that scene was that Immigrant Song wasn't playing.
And then you also get the big fight back on Titan, which is the most effective fight against Thanos, right?
So far, yeah, it was. Rather than going in beat by beat
No,
on that,
they're useless. Watch this fight. It's awesome.
yeah, it's a great fight.
Everybody does their job. It's really well choreographed. And Mantis has him. She's like using her emotional, like suppressing abilities to keep Thanos under control. They have him tied down, and they're trying to pull off the Infinity Gauntlet, which is, and they figured out that like Thanos has to close his hand to make things happen, which that's his weakness, his only weakness. And so they became pretty close here, right? They were like, they had him locked out, like Spider-Man and Iron Man are yanking off his hand, both of them together.
Peter had to go and be a
So hang on,
douchebag.
before we move on to Peter Quill ruining the whole universe,
Everything.
Pick out one bit of this fight and tell me what your favorite part of it was. Now, for me, it was very much Spider-Man going through the portals, magic with a kick, magic with a punch, and right before Thanos grabbed him and threw him. But making sure that Spider-Man was being a smartass every step of the way is really important to me, and it's really important to that character. And I feel like they've once again they were doing it pretty well.
even in the most scariest situation you
Right.
could ever possibly be in.
Yeah.
My favorite was Doctor Strange giving the platforms to Peter, to Star-Lord, to like run up the platform. And he does like the backflip and puts like the grenade on the back of Thanos. Actually was effective.
I think my favorite part was actually post-fight when Spidey saved Mantis by like using his legs to kind of roll along and
Turn it
create
into
this
a cage.
roll cage.
Yeah.
And
that
he saves
was cool.
everybody after that. And,
Yeah.
You know, kind of pointlessly, but he saves everybody after that. It was
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty badass.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, my favorite part of this fight is just like the interaction between Thanos and Star-Lord when
Yeah.
Star-Lord realizes that Gamora is dead, because like Chris Pratt plays the hell out of it and Josh Brolin acts the hell out of it, and it's an intense fucking moment.
Yeah,
Does exactly what you expect. Chris Pratt or
pistol
Star-Lord
whips Thanos and
knocks Mantis off.
right as Spider-Man pulls the gauntlet off too.
I mean, Thanos grabs it.
God,
with his
it was a
fingers.
tense moment.
So quick, you
fingertips.
start to see Thanos' wrists.
Yeah,
That's
every
how
time you
far
watch
the
that,
glove
you're like,
gets
pull
up.
harder, pull harder.
Yeah.
He grabs it by like the opening of the like it's.
I love that scene so
close.
much.
And I would like to say that we need to talk about how strong Thanos' pinch grip is.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man lost his grip on the Infinity
And
Gauntlet.
Iron Man and Spider-Man couldn't get it off.
You know what Thanos can do? Make a fucking moon fall
Push
on you.
everyone's shit in.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he drops the fucking moon on
Oh
everybody.
yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. Well, Iron Man's not happy. He says, if you throw another moon at me, I'm going to be very upset or something like that.
Yeah.
Once he had everybody stop, like once they stopped being a team,
Yeah.
he was able to completely destroy them. Iron Man he's just losing nanotech left and right to Thanos' punches, makes a sword, Thanos breaks it off and just stabs him with it. Fucking sweet.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, fucking Iron Man gets fucking...
And in this moment, you kind of think the first time you see it that Iron Man is about to die, because like we and every other fanboy in the world spent months wondering who was going to die in Infinity War. You know, all the big like original actors' contracts are coming up. We're like, oh, probably Iron Man, Thor, Captain America are going to die in this movie. You see Tony get stabbed. It's like, oh, curtains for Tony.
He's spitting blood and everything.
But
Yeah,
it doesn't
he's-
necessarily have the emotional resonance that you want from that moment of Tony's death. But that's because Tony doesn't fucking die.
But Doctor Strange tries to fight Thanos, but he's not using the fucking Infinity Gem for some reason. That's why I think this is all planned. He doesn't use the Infinity Gem at all to fight Thanos. He just doesn't use it. He has a time gem. He can reverse
Strange
fucking...
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can reverse fucking time. He can start over. There's nothing Thanos can do about that other than try to knock him out before
Yeah.
he can go backwards and do it.
And
Although-
we know that Strange doesn't care whether
Yeah.
Tony dies or not.
Actually,
He set
pretty
this
much,
up
pretty
already.
much, it wasn't even like he wasn't giving Doctor Strange a choice. He was just going to kill Tony Stark,
Right.
and Doctor Strange just stop.
Yeah, that's right. He got a monologue like, people are going, hopefully people remember you because I'm going to fucking murder you.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Half of humanity will survive. I hope they remember you.
Yeah.
You have my respect,
You have
Stark.
no respect. Because they're a lot alike, I think, is what I'm saying.
Bitchin' monologue.
Thanos and Tony Stark are a lot alike, and that's why they're at odds.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange loses the fight, and he gives up the Infinity Gem. He pulls it out of fucking the other dimension. Doesn't use it at all.
And Thanos gets the fuck out.
He books it. He
Mhm.
doesn't even fucking stick around to like gloat. It's just gone
Mm-hmm.
immediately to Wakanda.
And here's where shit starts to get
Yeah.
fucked.
Well, the Goblin
up.
twins and everybody get fucking murdered by the Avengers
Yeah,
fighting.
the
him.
Black
Yeah.
Order is completely eliminated.
Decimated.
That whole battle felt very much like Lord of the Rings stuff to me.
It
Like
did.
every
It was.
bit of that felt very Lord of the
Superhero
Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Everybody gets a pretty cool ending. Watch it. Wanda gets the murder one. It's pretty great.
There's a lot of spectacle to go with this story, and it's great. I really appreciated it all.
Now we have the Thanos comes and just wrecks everybody, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just in like one shot.
Amazing. This is what I want to see. I was waiting for this.
He takes
Like,
one shot at every single hero and just fucks them up
Yeah.
because he's got every power.
But actually,
Took 2 on Captain America.
yeah.
That's
Captain
a cool
America
moment.
always, even in the comic books, Captain America is always the guy you underestimate and shows up and gets a hit in. He still
Yeah.
gets a hit in on Thanos.
He
Content.
holds them back.
Yeah. Everybody, like a lot of the Earth's heroes managed to hold Thanos back a little bit, despite how ineffective they are against
Yeah.
him.
And here's where Thanos had the opportunity to kill the shit out of a lot of people.
Everybody.
Like,
Yeah.
he pushed the Hulkbuster armor into the rock. He could have just put it in the middle of the rock and left it completely
could've caved it
inaccessible.
in.
Bruce Banner would be dead.
He's dispassionate.
He locked Black Widow just in like dirt cave basically, but let
War
her
Machine.
live.
He could have crushed War Machine into a little cube. He only crushes him enough to disable
Threw
him.
him aside.
Yeah.
Steve
is where his
Rogers,
compassion
he
comes
just
in.
knocked him out, kept walking. The only person that really got fucked by Thanos was Vision.
Vision. He didn't care about Vision. So Wanda kills Vision very slowly.
Took a while to resonate at the proper
Which is a great
frequency
moment.
to
You can
obliterate
never
it.
hurt me. All I feel is you.
Yeah,
Great line.
lame line.
I almost
Throwback to the lame line from earlier.
Yeah,
in
just a
the
bunch of lame
lines.
lines thrown back to lame lines.
I love that.
Their
fine.
their whole love story is fart noises.
It's just hold on.
That's just
All I feel is you.
Kate Winslet dropping Leonardo DiCaprio off the door.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's
Freeze to
gotta-
death, you son of a bitch.
You just
That's all she said.
It's great, but there's like a very clear visual cue to when she destroys him and the Infinity Stone. We see the trees like explode around them,
yeah.
and it's great because 2 seconds later, Thanos fucking reverses all that shit.
He goes, "I feel your pain."
Uses the time stone, pulls out the fucking he gets the green shit around his wrist that Doctor Strange had in the
Yeah.
Doctor Strange movie.
And just turns
Turns it all back.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There's a continuity issue here. There's a little continuity problem.
I don't want to hear it. I'm
Very
just
minor.
feeling the emotional experience. all
Very,
over
very
again.
minor. So there's a scene where right after this, Thanos like throws what's her name off, the Scarlet Witch back, and in that wide shot, he's holding Vision by the throat, but he was not at Vision at that point.
So he turns it back. He pulls the stone out of Vision's
Brutal.
head
Oh,
himself.
Oh, it was
that was
rough.
rough. That was rough.
Yeah.
You watch it, like if it were a human or a person, it would be super gross.
He doesn't even care.
Yeah.
Big
Big ass fingers.
lesson
just,
in difference.
Pushing into Vision's
Yeah.
forehead, and he snaps the stone into his gauntlet.
It just throws
He's
Vision's
got all
gray
the
body aside.
infinities.
No.
But-
Every infinity is his.
But then it's gonna be okay. Thor shows up.
Thor.
He's got fucking Stormbreaker. It's the Thanos killing weapon. It's
Oh.
all gonna be okay,
Yeah.
right?
He stabs him in the chest.
Wump.
He goes right for the chest, but he has to have that monologue at the end. That's what I'm saying. Everybody fucking delays just long enough. They all want to be an Avenger. They all want to delay and have their moment. And Thanos plays in that space. And
I
he-
told you you'd die for this.
Yeah, because
For
at the
that.
beginning of the movie, he told
After he killed
Thanos-
Heimdall, he said, "You will die for that."
Oh, I thought it was Loki.
No, it was Heimdall.
Heimdall.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I told
I
you you
told
would
you
die.
you'd die for that.
And he does. He stabs him. I mean, Thor's.
And Thanos looks
Thanos is
fucked.
hurt.
He looks fucked up. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like.
I mean, he had an
he's-
axe in
he's
his chest. That's
yeah.
fucked up.
It's the first time you
He's-
see Thanos actually show pain.
He's
He
in
actually,
great pain.
Yeah.
yeah.
You should have gone
aimed
for the head.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Well, you said gone. I said aimed.
I said
Aimed.
gone.
You should have
I
gone
think
for
it's
that. You've gone for that. You should have gone for the head.
That's what we're all
Yeah.
thinking, though. Like, at the
Yeah.
time, we're like, what the fuck? Because you want to quip. You want to fucking tell him, I got you.
Yeah,
That's why he didn't go for the head.
because Thanos is wounded, but he's not so wounded that he can't snap his fucking fingers.
Nope. Done. That's it.
And then some of the craziest fucking shit I've seen in a blockbuster movie
God
in
damn it.
ages
It's-
happens.
It's like everything gets quiet and eerie.
Silent. There's no music.
Nothing. Yeah. And people just start turning into dust.
Yep.
One after another.
Half of everybody.
You know,
starts
I handled it all
disappearing.
pretty well. I kind of expected it, but that fucking
Spider-Man.
Oh
Yeah.
my
God
god,
damn it.
that was rough. And I read up on that. They're like, he just has some will. It's like, no, fuck you. You just want to tug our heartstrings. You
It
just want to
was
be like,
so I was
He's
reading
one of
I
the
was-
final deaths.
They did a voodoo watching party with the Russos, and I guess they were like, kind of guiding him through that sequence. He was like, all right, you're a kid. You don't want to die. You don't want to go. And it just kept getting longer and longer. And they kind of explained it away by saying he was actually fighting the change, or like the change or whatever, with his Spider-Man superpowers. And that's why it took him longer to go than everybody else.
He does have a healing factor.
Yeah.
You failed, Tony. You failed. All of Tony's failures just crumbles in his hands.
Yeah.
He's alone on an alien world with no reach for home.
I just
All
got
the Guardians
chills thinking
died.
about it.
Everybody's gone.
All the Guardians but Rocket.
Nebula is there.
Rocket and Nebula are the only ones alive.
Yeah.
She's not a Guardian. But
Kind
Oh,
of.
that was
around.
another one that really hit me too. Is Groot is like trying to reach out to Rocket with his like tree limb arms,
Yeah.
and he's turning to dust, and
Oh, no.
and Rocket's like,
Oh, no.
Groot, no.
No.
Oh my God.
Losing Peter was rough
Supposedly the translation was something about calling him Dad for the I Am Groot there.
Oh. Oh, does he say one last I am Groot
Yeah.
as he's fading
Yeah.
away?
Yeah.
He calls Rocket Dad.
That's supposedly that's the rumor.
Oh no.
And Rocket
upset.
understands him. So
Oh no.
there's the pain for Rocket.
Also, at the post credits, you have Nick Fury. He dies, and he dies slowly too.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like runs to the phone and he calls Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From
he's got his
transponder.
his space pager
Yeah.
that he probably got. I'm going to assume that space pager is going to show up in the Captain Marvel
For
movie.
sure.
Yeah, I want to know how Earth handles just a day-to-day bullshit now that like half the people are just gone. Planes fall out of the sky. Hospitals have half the people in them that were in them before.
Yeah.
Like what? How do you like?
Helicopters crashed into buildings.
Yeah.
There is a helicopter.
Yeah, we got a first
Hey,
helicopter,
first
yeah.
helicopter's in the post-credits scene. Forgot about that. Thank
Crashed
God
into
we
the
had a
building.
helicopter.
Yeah, I was worried.
No rats, though.
No rats.
We did have some travel.
Yeah.
Had people going to travel to rescue others. There were some disaster tropes in this one.
But not family. Like people were like, I got to get to my family. It's the only thing that's important. That's like disaster.
Oh
movie.
yeah, I guess we've now gotten to the disaster part of this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the disaster
This
they
is
were trying
what
to
a
Actually,
prevent.
probably the most
disaster.
wide-scale disaster we've ever covered in this.
What a
It's the
disaster.
biggest disaster.
The universe.
The
Yeah.
entire universe.
Yeah, we don't even know how big the universe is. We have no idea, but there's a lot.
I mean, it's just such a
What's half of
ballsy
infinity?
ending.
Yeah.
You don't see something this dark coming. You know, literally basically ends with Captain America saying, "Oh God," and then Thanos just sitting in a fucking hut, like recuperating and kind of
Farmer
smiling
Thanos on unknown
Smiling.
green planet.
as
Watching
the
the
sun rises.
Yep, he said he would.
Oh, and that haunting fucking string score as he's looking out from the hut.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I've seen that ending 3 times, and it never just fails to just blow my fucking mind.
All right, we are going to go for one last break, and when we come back, we will give you our final thoughts and get the fuck out of here.
We're the Avengers, man.
Thanos. If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he'll wipe out half the universe. Everything you love will all be gone. Just like that.
Well, he's never fought me.
Yeah, he has.
He's never fought me twice. I'm getting a new hammer.
It better be some hammer.
You guys are screwed now!
I am Groot!
I am Steve Rogers.
Bingo!
Together, we can stop Thanos.
All right, we are.
10-15 minutes.
Apparently, we're not yet. We're going to wait until Richard's done yakking.
Well, could you just fucking get on with it?
We're back, and we are going to. Come on. Don't
Yeah.
sarcasm while I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
This is hard work.
I
You
know.
come over and do it.
I
You
know.
bring us back then.
Welcome.
It's not as
Welcome
easy
back.
as I make it look, is it?
No, you're.
Well, we're
massive.
back. Richard's still disrespectful, and we're here to give you our final thoughts. I'll give you our final grades, and I mean, I have a feeling we're gonna get some real high scores on this one. So
Yeah.
you better be prepared.
Right.
Richard, what did you like, not like? What's your score on the Richter scale?
This whole podcast has been us talking about what we liked. I think you guys know what we liked. It was a pretty fun movie. They tied together. They did the impossible. They tied together, like, what was it, 20 movies?
So many fucking movies.
So many things. So many. They tied as many strings as they could to as many bows as they could to so many like dangling story items that have been going on for a really long time since 2008 with the original Iron Man movie. So I think this movie was an impossible feat, and they accomplished it probably as well as you could. It's entertaining. It's lighthearted at the same time. It's serious. It makes you feel something for these imaginary like cartoon characters pretty much at this point, you know?
Mhm.
And I think that's where this movie fails the most for me. And that's maybe there's no other way to do it, but the CG sometimes is a little distracting. It's bad at some places. And during the fight on Wakanda, there was a lot of like ships emptying of soldiers and troops that were nothing but CG. And some of it didn't have the polish that I was hoping for. But a lot of the close-up shots and stuff were incredible. It was a lot of those far away, like kind of like B-roll CG shots that were kind of sloppy. On the Richter scale, I give it a 2.6.
Okay,
No,
that's about where I was at too.
I'll give it I say it did 9.2 on the Richter scale.
9.2 on the Richter scale. That is the highest one yet, probably.
Yeah. What do you got,
Patrick? What do you got on the Pat Richter scale?
Pat Richter scale.
So that's 1 to 10. It's like pitchfork shit.
Unless you want to change it.
Yeah, I mean, you
yeah.
can do whatever you want,
It's
really.
a scale.
Yeah,
Man,
it's named after you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's as Rick just said, it's kind of an impossible feat. Like literally, this has never been done before in the history of movies. That a continuous, consistent story, more or less consistent, has been told over 20 movies or whatever, and it's culminated in this sort of film in a way. It's crazy. And while there are obviously some weak points that we've talked about already, like it's amazing that it works as well as it does. It's funny. It's got tons of great character shit in it. It's still entertaining after multiple watches. You know, Greg, how many times have you watched this shit now?
So many
6?
times. I've like 5 times this week.
Jesus. I mean, I've seen it 3 times. I can't wait to see it a 4th time. It's great. It's the best Avengers movie. I don't know. I haven't ranked my Marvel movies, but it's definitely one of the best Marvel movies to me. Great shit. And just a ballsy fucking ending. That ending just sticks with me like a motherfucker. So I don't know. I'm just, I'm gonna throw in with the 9.6. That feels good to me.
6 on
Yeah.
the Pat Richter
Feels
scale.
good
That's
to me.
Close to that 10.
0.4 more
Yeah.
than Richards here. That's impressive.
When you
stuff.
start getting to the top, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
So
what about the Greg
I had a
Sturt scale?
lot more complaints about this movie than those two did. It was mostly you guys just bitch about CG.
I didn't bitch about CG.
You both bitching.
Although actually,
Just bitching.
there's definitely some CG that doesn't look great in this.
No, yeah, I like the like Richard said, most of the wide shot stuff. Some of the CG is a little grim.
To me, though, like Thanos makes up for everything.
Yeah,
1,000-fold.
every tight shot on one of the CG characters, and there were a lot of them, looked amazing.
I mean, this movie might as well be a Pixar movie. There's a lot. It's very, very computer generated.
There's a lot of CG and
everything.
It's all really, really well done. I'm sure it was shot primarily in front of green screens. I mean, there's very little shot on location anywhere in this movie. I think it's well done. They basically took a bunch of damn short movies, threw them all together, and made it into a cohesive story. And they did a pretty great job. The one-liners got a little old for me, but the one-liners have been old for me for a long time. But most of the time, I'm willing to look past it if the action's good, and it was. It was great. Action was great. Dialogue was getting a little stale. I'm still way up there. I mean, I'm giving it like a 9.0 on the Richter scale. Gregter scale.
Yeah, you can't change
I
it.
thought it was Greg Stir.
Gregster. It changes week to week.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's up to me. It's my scale.
It's
It's named after me.
Yeah.
Liz gives it a never gonna watch it because she doesn't want to watch a bunch of people die in a franchise she doesn't really care about.
Oh, she hasn't seen it at all.
No, she
So
won't.
9.0
Missing
on the
out.
Gregster scale. See,
This is out.
switched right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a fan. Obviously, there was a lot to like. Some stuff to I didn't like the fucking Wanda Vision bullshit. Still.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really did.
Well, thanks for listening to another episode of the What a Disaster podcast. We'll be back next week. Thanks to Patrick for joining us again, hosting us. Actually,
Thanks,
we're at
Patrick,
his
yeah.
apartment.
Yeah.
Making this happen for us.
He couldn't make it to us, so we made it to him.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming all the way out here.
And I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys were able to do this on short notice. We want to make sure that this gets out there because we really wanted to share our thoughts with the world about the Avengers Infinity War.
Always.
And as usual, thank you, Richard, for joining me on our little podcast. I can't wait to hear what you get this whittled down to
Your
in editing.
infinity journey.
My infinite journey to collect the infinities. We got all the infinities.
Are you going to snap your fingers at the end of this podcast?
I'm going to kill both of you. Actually,
Oh, you're going to take us all out.
Not half, both of you. Actually,
Wow.
I'm going to snap my fingers. Half of you are going to die, and we'll figure it out after we share. So we're at Podwad on the Twitter. We're at Wad Podcast on Instagram. You can, of course, find us on Facebook. We're on Spotify, all that good stuff. subscribe, give us some reviews.
If
you
you never
hate us,
heard
hate
about
us. If you don't,
subscribing, you should
tell us you love us.
learn about it with our podcast.
Basically, I want a 1 or a 5 on iTunes.
Yeah.
So you pick, fill out some information. Let me know what you don't like, and I'll kill Richard and we'll fix it. Because I'm assuming that's all people want.
Right. He'll kill me live on the air for enough likes.
I'm about to snap my fingers. You could go.
I could go.
Actually, we're gonna do it this way. It'll be random. Pick a number 1 through 10. I'm
Like,
here.
should I
I'm listening.
whisper
You
it
can-
in your ear?
No, you can just say it. Doesn't matter.
6.
Okay. When I snap my fingers, now I know who's gonna die. So.
Oh shit.
Oh man, this is a lot of pressure. Patrick
Our phone number. You can call us.
209-781-9113.
Patrick even knew the tune. He didn't
knows
sing it, but he knows it.
He's too afraid. He's too afraid to sing along.
Well, that's good because
a lot of talent.
Patrick's the one that is going to die.
Mr. Allen, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go. 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 I don't want to go.
That man can't complain about their dust bodies. Get out of here.
Yeah, here we go.
She's like, going to use the bathroom.
Quartz eggs. Sexual energy eggs.
Do you have any sexual energy eggs in your bathroom you could bring out for us? Sadly, no. I'm a little low. I'm a little low on my
energy cleansing aromatic mister.
Yeah. Oh, you guys got one of those down here now. It's Ann Arbor. That's right. Nobody wants to hear us
Hopefully,
talk
I
about
never talk about Gwyneth Paltrow again.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear us talk about Gwyneth Paltrow for 3 hours.
They talk and then
Hopefully, she doesn't come back from the snap. Hopefully, she died in the snap, and she's the only one who doesn't come back.
Oh my god!
from
What
it.
if because she had no will to
That'd be
live?
a great
So
twist.
even when she comes back, even when they send everybody else back, she's like, I don't have any will to live.
She's just
It's
still on the
gone.
Soul Stone doing coffee enemas?
Yeah.
she's got everybody. I can get us out of here. We need you to channel your energy into these quartz crystals. But he doesn't have a plan.
smarter than Thanos. I've met a lot of people in my life, and no one is smarter
What if Thanos was Donald Trump?
Folks, I'm telling you, he's very smart.
What if Thanos was Donald Trump? He's like, he was just.
Can
like,
we get Josh Brolin to do a Thanos impersonating Donald Trump?
Right. He's like, Thor, I'm gonna kill you. I'm the strongest. Believe me. Believe me, Thor.
He's
No one is stronger than me.
probably more like Doug.